Good morning, everyone. Here we go.
And
Yes. Welcome to the program, everyone. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to Florida's longest-running radio show, the Steve Kane Show, on the radio since 1977. It's Wednesday morning, January 12th, 2021. And man, do we have a lot to talk about today. And, of course, what happened with Fauci yesterday in that Senate hearing, which was just amazing. We're going to go through some of that today. Ted Cruz, got some questions about Ted Cruz and what he did yesterday. We're going to talk about that and a whole bunch more. And also later in the show, I went through the voicemail messages for Steve and myself, and I pulled up some of our voicemail messages that listeners have left us throughout the day and some of our overnight listeners. And later in the show, I'm going to play some of our voicemail calls, which is sometimes interesting and bizarre. And we'll play some of those coming up later on the program. But I first want to talk about Ted Cruz. And I'm going to play the audio. Ted Cruz last week screwed up, right? Ted Cruz last week referred to the Capitol breach as a terrorist attack. And I don't think that was by accident. And I'm not alone. Tucker Carlson feels the same way. Tucker Carlson didn't think it was an accident either. He says Ted Cruz chooses all of his words very, very carefully. Kind of like Clive Owen in The Insider. Remember The Insider? I never repeat myself. Remember that guy? And I talked about that quite a bit last week, but let me just do the Reader's Digest capsulized review of what happened to put in context what Ted Cruz did yesterday and what I think is going on. I want to ask you guys some questions about this. So last week, Ted Cruz referred to the Capitol breach as a terrorist attack, and conservatives, MAGA, were very upset. And I told you guys, I said this guy is part of the deep state, Ted Cruz. He's part of the political establishment. His father was in league with Bush 41, H.W. Bush, the father, back in 1962, 63. And this family goes way back. And I think he said what he said on purpose. I don't think he realized what kind of reaction he was going to get. And Tucker Carlson called him out. I called him out. And then he was so flipped out about it, Ted Cruz, he text messaged Tucker Carlson to go on the program on Tucker Carlson's show and try to do damage control. And Ted Cruz said that he misspoke, and Tucker Carlson didn't buy it. He says, I don't believe you. I don't believe he misspoke either. I'm with Tucker Carlson on that one. So yesterday, Ted Cruz, it was a Senate hearing. I left my iPad at home today, so I got to use my MacBook here, which is, the studio was set up for me to use my iPad. I just walked out without my iPad, but luckily I had my laptop for something I got to do later today, so I got to hold my laptop in my left hand as I'm going through, because, I guess I can set it. I'm afraid it'll fall off if I set it there. I don't have a laptop stand here, so I got to hold it like I'm a waiter holding a tray, serving some food or drinks as I'm going through this. But yesterday, Ted Cruz was in a Senate hearing with a woman by the name of Jill Sanborn, who is the Executive Assistant Director of the National Security Branch of the FBI. Boy, she must have a very busy business card. So he's interviewing an assistant director of the FBI and asked a series of questions that were spot on and very, very interesting about the Capitol breach. And I'm going to play that exchange, and then I'm going to ask you guys some questions about it. And our number, of course, is 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Here we go. So this is Ted Cruz yesterday, trying to save face with MAGA, with this assistant director of the FBI talking about January 6th.
How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Okay, now I just want to say this deputy director of the FBI messed up her microphone, so when she starts talking, you're going to hear echo. You're going to hear Ted Cruz twice because she had her mic on and her speakers on and everything. And I'm sorry I can't do anything about that, but the audio is so important that we have to put up with that for this clip, okay? I'm sorry about that, guys. That's the FBI director's end of things.
How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Okay, now this is an interesting thing because and I'll throw this out to you guys. Call and let me know at 1-888-GO-CANE-1, 888-465-2631. Did she just confirm that the government was involved in the breach? When she says she can't tell us about practices and methods and all of this, isn't that she didn't say no, if somebody asked me if I had anything to do with it, I would tell them the truth. No. But she didn't say that. She said she can't divulge this information, which to me is a confirmation that they had people in there. Tell me what you think. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. That's just the beginning.
January 6th.
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th? Yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Wow. So I'm sorry about the echo. That's the deputy FBI director's end of things, who has this all going on. So he said, "Were there any FBI agents in there?" And she says she can't reveal that. That's a yes. Is that a yes to you all? It's a yes to me.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Is that also a yes? These all sound like yeses to me from her.
Did any FBI agents or FBI informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
Well, there are a lot of people who are understandably very concerned about Mr. Epps. On the night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered. And there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sandberg, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
The next day, on January...
Okay, so boom. I mean, that's an absolutely amazing thing. I take that as an admission from this deputy assistant director that every question that he asked her, the correct answer is yes. Because there's no reason to say no if they didn't have anybody in there. If she says no, she's lying to the Senate. That's a crime. She's lying to Congress. That's a crime. If she says she can't reveal it, well, she's not lying. So I think that all of those answers were yes, and that's a confirmation. I want to know what you think about that exchange. 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. This is also what I want to know from you. This is amazing. Now, I believe Ted Cruz is not MAGA, and I don't believe he's with Trump. I believe he's with the Bushes and the Cheneys. I believed this before last week. I have always believed that. I go back to the connection that his father had to H.W. Bush with Lee Harvey Oswald. I talked about all that last week. I'm not going to go through that again today. But Ted Cruz is fake MAGA. Now, that doesn't mean that Ted Cruz doesn't do things that help Trump and help us and help conservatives and help Republicans from time to time, like this yesterday. Okay? But do you think Ted Cruz, am I wrong about this? Is Ted Cruz on our side? Is he MAGA, or is he fake MAGA working with the Bush-Cheney side of things? That's where I believe he is. What do you think? And are they so desperate to have him back undercover? See, he's like a Donnie Brasco, in my view. He's the Donnie Brasco of, he's fake MAGA. He's Donnie Brasco. He's working for the establishment, infiltrating Mar-a-Lago, infiltrating the MAGA circle, the MAGA movement. Now, that doesn't mean he doesn't do things that help us out from time to time. And he will continue to do that, like yesterday was amazing. But was this an effort to get Ted Cruz back undercover because his cover was blown last week when he referred to the Capitol breach as a terrorist attack? I'm going to take some calls right now before we break. Our number 1-888-GO-CANE-1. 888-465-2631. What are your thoughts on all of these questions that I just posed? Let's go. You're on the radio. What's your name?
Hi, Joellen from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Joellen. What's up?
Yesterday, Spencer was talking from, he was a CIA agent, so to rush to the Bosco. He said yes. He said the fact that she did not say no means yes.
Yeah, because if she says no, she's lying to Congress, and that's a crime you can go to prison for. So those answers are all yeses.
Yes, that's what he referred to. He said that.
Well, you don't have to be a CIA operative to know that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I just think common sense. You could, it's obvious.
Yeah. So how, that blows him out of the water.
Well, what do you think Ted Cruz's game is here? Because last week he said it was a terrorist attack, and now he outed the federal government's role. So what's Ted Cruz? What side is he on?
Well, did they not say that he was running or thinking of running for president?
Oh, he'll never be president. I mean, no, he'll never be, especially after last week. But what do you think his game is? Is he fake MAGA? Is he working for the Bush-Cheney establishment? Or is he just self-serving? What would be your guess?
Yeah, I mean, it could be. It could be because,
Could be what?
If he's running against Trump, then it might lead to that, I guess.
Okay. All right, Joellen, take care. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
This is Mike from Louisiana.
Hey, Mike. What are your thoughts on this?
I think he's a little bit of both, fake MAGA and MAGA. But here's the deal. Think about this. You're talking about this lady that every answer she gave was a yes, right? I mean, it just seemed that way to me as well. And think about this, Brian. It's been widely speculated that the people that were stoking the crowd to go to do what they did all had ties in some way to the government on January.
They put people in prison for, So yeah. All right, Mike, take care. I appreciate the call. 23 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll take our first break of the day and be back with more of your calls at 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Well, we're entering the... No, that was me, guys. I had to reset something on my device. So no conspiracies there. The feed went down because I had to make a change. Because I don't have my iPad today, I had to make a change there so that I could monitor on my laptop.
Of Strategic Manufacturers, a subsidiary of SBDG. He wants to bring PPE manufacturing back here to the United States. David,
make sure you guys, excuse me, I gotta have a
gloves and PPE.
Hold on.
You said it in the introduction. We weren't prepared. Well, over 90% of the gloves that we use are manufactured overseas. We were gouged. So your average physician, nurse, emergency worker simply couldn't get the gloves to keep them and their patients safe. And that's intolerable.
A lot of people say you can't make anything in the United States anymore. It's too expensive. It costs too much. We don't have the materials here. How are you going to bring production of PPE to the United States?
Well, the reason we can't is because we haven't. We gave it up. It was a policy for 3 or 4 decades that we build all the fancy stuff here and all the average stuff we import. And now we're paying the price for it. We certainly can build things here. We have the skills.
I'm watching on my laptop today.
Central focus of SMI, bring manufacturing back to the United States. Through our analysis and our due diligence, we believe that this is not only profitable, but will lead the way for other companies in the future to continue the trend to remove dependence on foreign resources for critical materials.
Now, people who are in the listening audience who want to participate, who want to help make us independent when it comes to PPE, how can they participate?
Well, go to our website, sbdgstock.com, and you'll find additional information, investment opportunities.
Jimmy Carter, I think, if I remember correctly, pardoned the Puerto Rican nationalists, right?
Critical for American citizens, government, policymakers, businesses.
Yeah, this cover my daughter got me for my MacBook. It's pretty nice.
Manufacturing of strategic materials, critical materials back to the United States, and that is what SMI is all about.
To learn more about strategic manufacturers or to get information on becoming an investor, call 919-654-6870. 919-654-6870. Online, strategicmanufacturers.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Oh, yes. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show. Oh, man. Yeah, so I think most of us agree that that Ted Cruz is trying to get back undercover. I'll continue to take calls. If you have any more thoughts on Ted Cruz, you are welcome to call in on that as I bring up some other topics, because I think that one is a very, very important one. And it's really a follow-up to Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz. They had a press conference recently. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene, who brings up some amazing points about the Capitol breach.
I think the question that really should be asked is an informant also involved in making the plans for these types of things and violence and a security breach at the Capitol? Are they just an informant sitting quietly in meetings and listening to plans? Or are they actually taking part in planning these things?
That's right.
I think we can see, and it's very obvious with the videos that we have just seen today, that Ray Epps definitely organized and told people to go in and incited people to do the breach of the Capitol, but yet he has not been charged. So there's a lot to be answered for. Now, we have Christopher Wray of the FBI and Merrick Garland of the Department of Justice, who we see are currently going after everyone involved, and they seem to think that this is the biggest investigation that they've ever needed to undertake in United States history. Well, you know what I think needs to be the biggest investigation in United States history is what is going on at the FBI and what is happening in the Department of Justice. And the American people deserve those answers.
Wow, yeah, that's Marjorie Taylor Greene. That's the press conference she had with Matt Gaetz last week. So now, last week Ted Cruz says it was a terrorist attack, and now he's out there talking like Marjorie Taylor Greene a week later. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Oh, this is Bill in Sanford.
Hey, Bill, what's up?
Well, I think that somebody said, and I agree with them, that we can trust Ted Cruz if he goes down to the D.C. jail and starts representing these inmates, get them their constitutional rights, get them bail, and get them to see their loved ones, and get them out. Then we'll see whether or not he...
Well, that's an interesting question. That's very interesting. And if somebody knows the answer to this, because he's a lawyer, he was the Solicitor General of Texas, which is a big deal, right? Was he a Solicitor General or Attorney General of Texas? I think Solicitor. But anyway, regardless, Ted Cruz is an attorney. Rand Paul, who we'll get into later, he's a doctor, and he still practices. Sometimes he volunteers. He still sees patients. So can Ted Cruz, as a member of the Senate and an attorney, work to get the January 6 prisoners due process as guaranteed by the Constitution while he's in the Senate. I would say, I don't see, if Rand Paul can practice medicine, why can't he practice law?
Well, at least attempt it to show somebody that that he's going to be backing Trump and not only Trump, but give like you said, the constitutional rights to these inmates. They've been denied for a year and a half or in solitary.
What do you think? Is Ted Cruz, is he working for the Liz Cheney group, and he's undercover with us? Did he just mess up last week and get excited? What's your take on Ted Cruz?
I would hope he messed up, but
what do you think though? Yeah,
I would give him the benefit of the doubt and see what happens forward, and see if he has see if he steps on his own tongue and script again.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's obvious that this deputy FBI director confirmed every what is called wild conspiracy theory about the Capitol breach was just confirmed by her, wouldn't you say?
Yes. Well, yeah.
If it's not true, if the answer is no, there's no reason to say no. The only reason to say I can't talk about practices, I can't discuss that, is because to say no would be lying to Congress, which is a felony. You go to jail, you go to prison for that.
Well, that's why they're obfuscating and not answering.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, so, and if Ted Cruz is working for the other side, boy, they really gave up something pretty big to get him back undercover, if that's the case.
Well, I would like to have him on our side, and I hope it turns out that way.
I don't dislike Ted Cruz. I like Ted Cruz. I just don't necessarily trust him fully.
Senate hearings on confirmations for different judges and everything, and nobody does it better than Ted Cruz.
He's very good. He's brilliant.
Yes.
That's why his comment last week about terrorist is so important, because, as Tucker Carlson says, he doesn't utter a word without thinking it through first.
Yeah, it's totally out of character for him.
Mm-hmm.
Character from what we've seen him do in the past.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. Appreciate the call. Bill in Sanford, Florida. You're on the radio. Good morning. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Yeah, this is Pete from Fort Lauderdale.
Hey, Pete. What's up?
Yeah, I just, with Ted Cruz, I mean, there's something about him I just don't trust, and I think he was just trying to save face or maybe deflect like, a lot of the Democrats do. But, I agree with you guys, too, that Ted Cruz is good, and he could be very good for the country. But I think he's another Liz Cheney. Not as bad, not as pronounced, but I think he's another Liz Cheney and a Mitt Romney, and I honestly believe that.
I agree. I really do agree. Yeah. And no matter what he does, it's in the official congressional record from that Senate hearing last week that he referred to the Capitol breachers as terrorists.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you're really concerned about what's going on and you really believe in the MAGA movement, I'm like those other people. You'd be out there defending those people instead of
Well, I don't care who somebody is. I don't care what crime someone's accused of. We have a justice system. We have constitutional guarantees. Everyone is entitled to, no matter what they are accused of, whether it's BTK or these guys. You understand? So it's not about siding with them. It's siding with the freedoms, the liberties, and the constitutional guarantees that we have. And I agree with the last caller from Sanford, Florida. If Ted Cruz started doing something about that to make sure they get due process, that doesn't mean set them free. That means due process. Then I'd start to trust him again a little bit.
Absolutely. I mean, that's the way our justice system is supposed to be set up. But I see so many deviations away from the way it's supposed to be that it's just it tests your your fortitude to believe in America. It really does.
Mm-hmm. It does. Hey, take care. Thanks for the call. All right, we're going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. 34 minutes after the hour. My name's Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show. Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. We'll be back right after this.
This is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
All right, welcome back. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. You know, we're about a month away from Valentine's Day, and there is no better gift for your Valentine than something from MyPillow. And with our promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, there are incredible deals to be found there. Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, no matter what it says, you can take advantage of it with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. You can save up to 66%. And I've been talking about what I'm calling the Brian Valentine's Bundle at MyPillow.com, which is unofficial, but I think these make great gifts for Valentine's Day. His and hers MyPillow bathrobes. My wife and I did that last year. They're spectacular. These robes, they come in many different colors. They come in styles for men and women. They have a whole bunch of new colors in, and I checked last night. Everything is in stock. No supply chain issues whatsoever. And his and hers bathrobes for your Valentine is just a wonderful, wonderful gift that'll be remembered for years to come. And with our promo code KANE at checkout, the MyPillow bathrobes are 30% off. That's an amazing deal. The MyPillow My Slippers, I have these. They're spectacular. Steve has them. And they come in many different colors and styles for men and women. They go great with your MyPillow bathrobe. The MyPillow My Slippers, 40% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE. And of course, the final item in the Brian Valentine Bundle, all these are at MyPillow.com, by the way. My Valentine's Bundle is the MyPillow sleepwear. They have new sleepwear. Mike Lindell's just amazing, and it's beautiful for both men and women in many different styles and colors. The MyPillow sleepwear, 50% off with the promo code KANE at checkout, KANE, and you can wear that right underneath the bathrobe. That's just wonderful. Whoever your Valentine is, no matter how old or how young, these are all great gifts. There's also a brand new item they have that comes in 7 different colors. The new MyPillow quilt, 30% off with the promo code KANE. Brand new item. It is beautiful. My wife is ordering that for sure. 30% off the brand new MyPillow quilt with the promo code KANE, KANE, at checkout. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879. 1-800-716-4879. Promo code KANE. Now, you know, we were talking about the January 6 prisoners. This is not a defense of what they did. What they did, you don't go into a building like that, a federal building. I don't support that, and I know you don't either. But these people have been in jail for a year, some of them, and they have not gone through due process. There was an Antifa terrorist that was arrested earlier this week with a bomb. I hadn't talked about it, but now, right here in Florida, I think it's very relevant to what's going on. This is in the Gateway Pundit. I tell you, having my laptop instead of my iPad is so inconvenient because I walked out of the house without my iPad today, and I have my MacBook because I have to do some work after the show that I need my MacBook for, and luckily I have it, but I don't have a place to. All my show prep is on my Twitter. Anything that I read or think I'm going to talk about on the show, I tweet, and what I do during the show is go through my Twitter feed. That's my stack of stuff, And since I don't have anywhere on the control board to put my MacBook where I can read it and run the board, I have to hold it in my arm, and I'm starting to get a cramp in my left arm because I'm holding it like a waiter holding a tray here. It's a little if you're on hold, stand by. Let me just go through this story a little bit, and then we'll go back to the phones. And this is in the Gateway Pundit this morning. An Antifa man with a bomb was arrested this past January 6th, that's last week, at a political rally in Florida. The suspect was seen running away before he was apprehended by police, caught with a backpack containing a pipe bomb, which isn't that what they found on January 6th in D.C.? That's an Antifa weapon, apparently. He had a pipe bomb, a gas mask, pepper spray, smoke rockets, and flammable rags. He also carried a direct action checklist. Wow, this is insane. His name is Garrett James Smith. Smith was there to counter-protest a rally organized by Trump supporters outside the Pinellas County Jail to demand the release of political prisoner Jeremy Brown, who remains in jail with no bail in Florida. And Jeremy Brown, who I've never heard of before, he's a U.S. Army Special Forces veteran. According to the local sheriff, officers chased Smith, this is the Antifa guy with the pipe bomb, who stuck out dressed all in black, including a ski mask, when he suddenly sprinted away from the rally. According to the sheriff, officers found a homemade pipe bomb in his backpack, which had the potential to be very harmful, the sheriff warned. It could have been very destructive. He could have hurt a lot of people, said the sheriff. He was certain that Smith was prepared to set off the bomb before he was spooked and fled. Authorities searched Smith's home, found another pipe bomb, hand grenade-style explosives, and they've released evidence photos of all of this, nails, and duct tape. Smith also wore a helmet showcasing the Iron Front emblem, 3 red arrows in a circle. This is a logo used by Antifa groups. Oh, Iron Front, like that fake Patriot front in the name. Another tell the Patriot Front's fake. He also, until several months ago, had been based in Portland, Oregon. That's where Antifa's been kind of camped out, right, for years and years and years. And he's being held with bond already, $300,250 bond. He was charged with 3 counts of possession or discharge of a destructive device, 1 count of loitering and prowling. So here we've got bail for a guy that had 2 pipe bombs, was at a political rally. Sheriff says he was going to use them. They've set bail for him. But the January 6th unarmed protesters, no bail for them. It's insanity what's going on. Why is that? Why do you think this far in they have been denied their civil rights? 1-888-GO-CANE 1-888-465-2631. Good morning. You're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm Jerry from the Bay Area.
Hey, Jerry.
Hey, how's it going? I had a comment on the Ted Cruz.
Yes.
Well, I think he's more MAGA. Excuse me. I think he's more MAGA than not. And the reason I say this is because Rand Paul and Trump used to have strong disagreements. And I trust in Rand Paul doing the right thing as I trust Ted Cruz doing the right thing.
Well, why do you think he referred to the Capitol breachers as terrorists last week?
I don't know. I mean, even a good chef could burn his food once in a while. I do trust him just based upon the deeds that he has done and how he backed up Trump and the MAGA movement in the past by votes against the impeachment, by all the deeds and all that he said, on Trump's side. So maybe he did misspeak. Maybe, I do trust Tucker. I mean, Tucker Carlson's very smart, and he did dissect him really good. But I would give him a pass just by saying that he would probably, he's more MAGA than not, and I trust him to do the right thing.
Mm-hmm. Well, yesterday he confirmed a lot of things about the Capitol breach with that FBI deputy director. There's no doubt about that. I mean, those are all confirmations that all of the, what they call wacky, paranoid conspiracy theories are correct. Because she could have said no. If none of those things were true, she could have said no at any moment in time, and she didn't.
Absolutely. And that's why, he did the right thing again, just by that line of questioning and putting her on the spot.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right.
Another comment on that Antifa news that you were just giving right now, which I think is breaking news. I have a question. Do you think that guy was going to peacefully protest?
Well, no, obviously not. He brought a bomb to a political event.
Those are incidents that should be, voiced and verbalized to the people that are just sitting on their behinds and not doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we got to, these Antifa people are bad news. I did not go to the January 6th event up at Mar-a-Lago. A lot of people did, and I almost went, and my wife says, don't go. It's not safe to go for a number of reasons, and I think she made a very wise decision, or a wise choice in alerting me to that, because I think she was spot on with that, and this is proof of it. When I was up at Mar-a-Lago on Inauguration Day when President Trump returned home. He was still president. It was the last 15 minutes that he was of his first term. So I was one of the last people to see him during the last 15 minutes of his first term there, which was amazing. And there was a guy who was dressed in MAGA gear that was trying to get us riled up and start a fight with the Biden people across the street. And when he started that, everyone said, get out of here, get out of here. They said, plant, fake, Fed, Dem, get out of here. You're not MAGA, everybody. And he left. He even had MAGA socks on with his shorts. It was a little out of control. And then I went to the airport because here near Mar-a-Lago, the Palm Beach airport's where President Trump flew in with Air Force One to see Air Force One. And I got to, Air Force One was still there, and it was a sad day because Air Force One left without Donald Trump, and there were guys there bawling. But we were sitting there with Air Force One, this pickup truck came blasting music, a very expensive truck too. This was like a $50,000, $60,000 truck. It was filled with about 5 or 6 young black men in their mid-20s. It had Black Lives Matter painted all over the truck. They had Black Lives Matter and Biden-Harris flags flying in the bed of the truck, and they pulled in around all these MAGA people, and they blasted the music, and they sat there with their Black Lives Matter stuff trying to get the crowd to react to them. Everyone ignored them, and then they drove away in a minute, and they came there to start trouble, and I don't think they came there by accident. And that was on Inauguration Day. So, you got to be careful at these political events these days because there's a lot of people trying to set things up at them. I've seen it myself.
Now in the January 6th, did anybody get caught or was stopped with the same way that that one Antifa guy that you described?
That's the only one I heard of. It's the only one I heard of. But do you think this cowardly guy did all that on his own?
Yeah, and that's the thing. There's a big distinction between us and them. Us being the MAGA movement and them being the Antifa, the BLMs.
Yeah, and why is this guy not a statement on all of Antifa in the media? They say that the Capitol breachers is a statement on every Trump supporter, which is absurd. This guy here had bombs. And the same type of bomb, by the way, that was found up in D.C. on January 6th. Why is this not a statement on Antifa? Why is this not even hardly in the news? And I think I saw it. This happened in Florida, so I think I'm getting the stories a little bit more because I'm in Florida and I'm getting it through Florida media, Gateway Pundit too. But I don't think this story has really been promoted nationally.
Why don't they place that one guy that they arrested in Florida in front of Nadler and ask Nadler, is this guy an idea or is he real?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Hey, take care from the Bay Area. Appreciate the call. We're going to take our Last break of the first hour. My name's Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. We'll be back right after this break.
Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to a Champagne.
Hey everybody, make sure you like the video if you don't mind. Like the video if you're new, subscribe.
Mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad.
I can't pay as close attention to the chat as I'd like because I don't have my iPad. But
like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best.
Wesley, $5 super chat. Thank you, Wesley. Good morning, Brian. Trump has been right about Cruz since 2016. Lying Ted. I have no respect for Ted Cruz. No, I don't trust him at all. I do not trust him at all.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561.
Yeah, not only did I make a vlog that day, I actually live stream after the vlog when I went to the airport to see Air Force One. If you go on my channel, and you can see Air Force One leave Florida without President Trump, and I mean, it was sad. It was a sad day. I saw a couple guys, they weren't in uniform, but they were veterans, and they saluted Air Force One, and they were like in tears because it was leaving without President Trump.
It was very pleasant. I made an appointment. They got me in within the hour. I was out of there within 20 minutes. Thank goodness the test was negative, and I can go back to work tomorrow. They also tested me for the antibodies, and I haven't been exposed. So do what I did. Go over to any lab test now of Coral Springs. They give great rates for Steve Kane listeners, and tell them we sent you.
It's worth 15 minutes of your time to have peace of mind and know that you and your family are safe. Any lab test now of Coral Springs is located at 955 North University Drive on the southeast corner of University and Ramblewood near the Willow Square Mall. You can call them at 954.
Oh yeah, were you watching my video, D? It was sad.
954
It was sad.
5983. Any lab test now of Boca is in the Sandalfoot Plaza, where the Western Beef is, south of Palmetto Park Road and north of Hillsborough. Call them at 561-237.
I know, I got goosebumps when I just mentioned it a minute ago.
237-5009. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search.
And by the way, at any lab test now of Boca, any lab test now of Coral Springs, no appointment is necessary. You can just walk right in. They're also open on Saturdays, and you don't have the long wait in and out in just a few minutes. They have every COVID test that you may need, including same-day PCR testing, the antigen test, antibody test. They have everything. And there's an outbreak here in Florida, and people got to get tested for all kinds of things. Work, travel, school, or just for peace of mind. That's why I get tested all the time, because my wife has such a serious health condition. If I got a positive test, I'd have to go stay in a hotel for a couple weeks, even if I had no symptoms, because my wife is very, very high risk. But any lab test now with Boca, any lab test now with Coral Springs, open Monday through Saturday. There's lots of any lab test nows around. Those are the only two locations advertising on the Steve Kane Show. So don't use the rest. Just use those two. Thank you very much for that, by the way, in advance. All right, it's 7 minutes before the top of the hour. I'm Brian. It is the Steve Kane Radio Show. And, so Ted Cruz, I'm glad Ted Cruz did that, regardless of which side he's on, because it was confirmation of a lot of things. You know, last week I played the one clip of Marjorie Taylor Greene. I want to play one more, and it's the great Matt Gaetz. I wish Matt Gaetz was my congressman. He's here in Florida. I got a Democrat who represents me, you know. But unfortunately, I tried, I supported Laura Loomer, but, it's too many Democrats in that district. But that press conference last week, if you've not seen it, you should, with Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz. It was amazing, got very little coverage. They're portrayed as kooks, and then Ted Cruz gets this deputy director of the FBI to confirm everything that Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz said last week, that they were branded kooks and nuts for saying. Listen to this. This is Matt Gaetz at the press conference with Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Questions about what happened on January 6th, who animated the violence, the extent to which the federal government may have been involved. We know this. January 6th last year wasn't an insurrection. No one has been charged with insurrection. No one has been charged with treason. But it very well may have been a FEDS-surrection. We are very concerned that we have sent letter after letter to Attorney General Garland and FBI Director Wray to simply get to the bottom of unexplained circumstances where people are on the FBI most wanted list from January 6th, and then they fall off of that list.
Okay, there you go. I mean, that's a FEDsurrection. He coined a new word. I like that. It sounds like something Trump would say. Maybe he'll bring this up in his rally in Arizona this Saturday night. I hope he does. Oh, man. So that's amazing. So Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz have a press conference last week. They're branded nuts, conspiracy theorists, looking for Bigfoot. And then yesterday, Ted Cruz confirmed everything that they said in their press conference. I'm going to play the Ted Cruz clip again just for people that did not hear it in the first segment. And then after the top of the hour, I'm going to move into some other things because there's a lot going on. But you're welcome to call in about the Ted Cruz event. Now, in this Ted Cruz exchange, he's talking to this deputy director, assistant deputy director of the FBI. You'll hear some echo of Ted Cruz. That's because the FBI director was not knowing how to use her computer and microphone or anything else. And that's on their end, but we have to just suffer through it. It's very important, this exchange. This is yesterday, Ted Cruz in the Senate hearing with the FBI.
How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Wow, that means they were involved.
FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th, yes or no?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Did any FBI agents or FBI informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
Well, there are a lot of people who are understandably very concerned about Mr. Epps. On the night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered. And there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sandberg, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
Wow. I mean, those are all, she answered yes to every single one of them. Why would she not say no if the answer was no? She would only say those answers, oh, it's all classified, we can't talk about, because to say no would be committing the crime of lying to Congress. Oh my goodness. So Ted Cruz did a good job yesterday. Whatever his real motivation is, we don't know for sure. I know a lot of us don't trust him, but he did good work yesterday. There's no getting around that. Now, after the top of the hour, I'm going to get into some other topics. We're going to go through what happened with Fauci yesterday, which was amazing, with Rand Paul, and a bunch of other topics as well, including coming up, I went through my voicemail, Steve's voicemail this morning before I left the house, and I pulled off some of the calls, and we're going to go through some of our voicemail messages later on in the program, and, you can render an opinion on those when we get to it. All right, our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-CANE, 1-888-465-2631. That is our number. It's a toll-free call. And I just want to mention here about Champagne Automotive Repair. They will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle does not need. That's right. And their prices are out of this world low as well. Steve had his son take his car to one of the big-name places and had them look over the car. They gave him a printout and told him what work needed to be done on the car, how many repairs, what maintenance needed to be done, and they gave him a printout. And Steve's son then took his car up to Champagne Automotive Repair, did not give them the printout, didn't tell them what they told him, and had them look over the car at Champagne, bumper to bumper. And what we found out was this. That first auto shop that Steve's son went to, told him he needed $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the vehicle did not need. They were scamming him. Scammers. Isn't that something? $843.12 in repairs and maintenance that the car did not need. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Finding an honest auto mechanic is not an easy thing to do, but we found it at Champaign Automotive Repair. It's where all of my family's cars go for their maintenance, for their repairs. It's where the entire Kane family go for their maintenance and their repairs. And I know a lot of you do too, and if you don't, you should. We have listeners that drive over an hour each way because they're honest. Champaign Automotive Repair will never do a repair on your vehicle that your vehicle doesn't need, and their prices are very, very fair. Their number, give them a call, 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101. One more time, that's 561-245-8101. Champaign Automotive Repair in Boca. Make sure you tell them you heard about them on the radio. 1 hour down, 2 to go. Back after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Hi, Tom Laporta here from Laporta Contracting, Roofing and Building Restoration. We survived the 2021 hurricane season. Now it's time to get your building envelope ready for the next season. Laporta Contracting installs all types of roofs, from asphalt, clay, and concrete, standing metal seam, flat roofs, and slate tile systems. Our building restoration offers complete envelope protection to include siding, stucco, concrete restoration, impact windows and doors, weatherproofing, and painting. Laporta Contracting serves single-family, multifamily, HOAs, and commercial properties. Call Laporta Contracting today for a free evaluation and estimate, and go to our website to see our team and past customer videos at laportacontracting.com. Our number is 954-604-4602. That number again is 954-604-4602. And thanks for listening to The Steve Kane Show.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are, but don't just take my word for it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live.
If you haven't already, please like the video. If you're new, subscribe. And if everyone could check and make sure you got that notification bell clicked. I upload my podcast here as well as live stream in the morning. I live stream on the weekends, and I do vlog as well that I upload to the channel. And if you're subscribed, you'll know when I upload a new video or go live, and it would help me out a lot.
I got great price. Got it home, been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's like a whole new mattress.
I talked to other listeners with the MyPillow.
You know, I'm wearing under this shirt, I'm wearing my, I can't show you because I got too many wires on, but I'm wearing my Trump for President 2016 shirts underneath this.
They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't
So
buying mattresses enough.
I've got 2 Trump shirts on, the pullover and then the shirt underneath.
I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. You guys out there.
My arm is killing me from holding my laptop like this.
And when you use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free MyPillows. But you got to use the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn your old mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9
All right, here we go. Second hour.
From Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782.
You are listening to South Florida's longest-running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll-free, dial 1-888-GO-KANE 1. That's 1-888-GO-KANE 1. And now, Steve.
Yes, hour number 2 has begun. My name is Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE 1. 888-465-2631. I got up really early this morning. I've been up since about 2:30 in the morning, and I got up early because I wanted to do all my show prep, and I have to, all this audio I have to edit and everything else. And, of course, on Wednesdays, the new episode of Book of Boba Fett is on, so I couldn't wait till later in the day. I got a busy day, so I got up early so I could finish all my show prep and watch episode 3 of the Book of Boba Fett, which is the new Star Wars TV show this morning, which was a spectacular episode, by the way, I must say. Now, this is, Ashley Babbitt obviously should not have been in that building. And like many others, she was trespassing, may have committed some vandalism. But she was an unarmed woman, an unarmed veteran, and she was shot dead, an unarmed woman, by Officer Mike Bird. And I found out this morning something I did not know about that. They cleared, the lieutenant, the Capitol Police lieutenant, he was cleared in that shooting. They declared it a good shoot. Do you know, this is breaking news, also at the Gateway Pundit, which this came out last night, right before 9 o'clock last night at the Gateway Pundit. Officer Mike Brown of the Capitol Police was never interviewed by the D.C. police before he was exonerated in the shooting death of Ashley Babbitt. How could they clear him without interviewing him? How does that work? And, when I see these Capitol police officers, at least the high-profile ones, do they look like a professional police force to you? They look like thugs to me. They look like almost like street people. Their uniforms are sloppy. I've seen some of their uniforms faded. They're out of shape, and they're not very articulate. How do they clear him in a shooting like that without interviewing him? That's very strange, isn't it? Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Good morning, Conservative Doug.
Hey, Doug.
This country is really going down the tubes, man. You got Ted Cruz, which said what he said. I'll never forgive him for that, but he did a good job yesterday. But what kind of person goes on to talk to Congress and doesn't answer any questions? I can't answer that? What do you mean you can't answer that?
Well, she did answer. She answered. Those are all yeses. I take those all as yeses, don't you?
Oh yeah, of course. But she's allowed to say, I can't answer that. I don't get it, man. And then you got this Capitol Police, like you just said, not even interviewing this guy, and they let him go.
Well, they totally cleared him. They totally cleared him in a police-involved shooting in someone's death. And they didn't I don't understand how you could do that and not interview the person. And let me tell you, and I'll ask your opinions on this. That lady police officer that was convicted a couple weeks ago, what did she do that was different than what this lieutenant did? And they didn't even interview him, and she's going to prison.
And it's all on video. You can see the guy just shoots right through the window.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't breaking anything.
She was trespassing. She was taking part maybe in vandalism, perhaps.
All right. So you shoot somebody for that?
No, I've never heard of that before. I've never heard someone shot legitimately for vandalism and trespassing. Not since the days of the Old West, maybe.
President Trump was on One American News yesterday. I don't know if it was.
I saw some of that this morning.
Oh yeah, he did great. And as he said, it's going to take him a while to fix this thing because it's really we're going so far down. I'm hoping he can bring us back because without him.
Well, this country's been down before. Hey, Doug, take care. Thanks for the call. I was watching Greg Kelly's show last night, who has the best show. I think Greg Kelly has the best show on cable news. I really do. He's on Newsmax, 7 o'clock. And he brought up something that I've not seen anybody talk about but me. And if you guys remember Rick Siderman, he used to talk about this too. But he was talking about Kent State. And because he was comparing what happened at Kent State to what happened at the Capitol. And, those National Guardsmen at Kent State, they were called murderers, all kinds of problems. I don't know what I have to go back and look, because I was a child back then, at what punishment, if any, those National Guardsmen received. But you know, the students at Kent State were attacking those guardsmen. A lot of people don't know this. They were throwing things at them. They were assaulting them. They were attacking the National Guardsmen. You know, it was a terrible thing what happened at Kent State. It was a terrible thing. But they attacked the National Guardsmen. The National Guardsmen at Kent State were defending themselves. People, and I was so glad to hear Greg Kelly on Newsmax get into that last night, because I have never seen anyone on television. I've talked about it on the radio. Rick Siderman used to talk about it. But I've not seen anyone on television ever talk about the truth of what happened at Kent State. Now, this hearing yesterday with Fauci and Rand Paul was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I'm glad I caught it, and I turned it on quite by accident. And when I turned it on, it was in the middle of Rand Paul reaming out Fauci, and I was like, wow, this is amazing television. As usual, I'm not interested in what Fauci has to say. It was amazing television. But something happened that with Fauci. Fauci said some things, which I'll play in a bit. He said some things, and it really shows a sad state of affairs in this country, something that Fauci talked about. But let me go through some of this. Let's first play the Rand Paul. Let's see here. Yeah, this is Rand Paul going after Fauci, and it was beautiful. This isn't the only moment, but this is the only moment I'm going to play with Rand Paul and Fauci yesterday.
The anger that's developed with you, Dr. Fauci, is that you don't want to give us advice. You want to tell us what to do. You think you are the science, and that anybody responds to you, how dare you? How dare you criticize science? As if you somehow are science. That kind of arrogance, that hubris is really, that's where the anger's coming towards you. If you were one doctor among hundreds of doctors in the government who gave advice, I don't think anybody, people might object to your advice, but there wouldn't be such a degree of anger. But you are so certain that you're right that you're not willing to hear anyone else. 3 epidemiologists, of which you are not even an epidemiologist, but 3 epidemiologists prominent in their field, Oxford, Stanford, and Harvard. You maligned them. You spoke openly with Dr. Collins, and you did not disagree that let's paint them as fringe. You went after them and said, we will do a public takedown. Not in Science or Nature or Lancet, in Wired, in The Nation, a left-wing publication. You've engaged in base politics. You wonder why there's so much anger? You're not an objective scientist.
Okay. Now, this is an interesting exchange with Rand Paul. This isn't the big problem, which we'll get to in a minute. But, you know, science is all about questioning, and it always changes because new information. You know, you're not to question science. Like, they got a lot of things you're not allowed to question, right? The way that Dr. Fauci and the left and the media act as if everything that will ever be known is known. There are no more scientific answers. All the science is settled, and there's no new knowledge that could come in that could change current scientific opinion. That's a pretty arrogant thing. It really, truly is. And, I mean, just think in your own lifetime, how many things of science told us was true that turned out not to be true? I'll give you a big one. When I was a kid in the 70s and in the 80s, this is a big one. They used to talk all the time, scientists, about the hole in the ozone layer. And this was a big thing, and it was caused by like hairspray, aerosol cans and things like this was making the hole in the ozone bigger. And this was a big problem because the ozone layer protects us from the radiation from outer space. And that hole was getting bigger and bigger, and more radiation, and eventually we're all going to be radiated on Earth. Remember this? And scientists, leading credible scientists, for many, many years, promoted the fear of the hole in the ozone layer, and it was going to be the end of the world. Well, then some other scientists, because the hole in the ozone layer was such a consuming thing for people, that scientists were researching the ozone layer and ways that they had not before, I guess probably because of NASA and technology. And you know what scientists found? There have always been holes in the ozone layer, and that lightning makes ozone. Lightning repairs holes in the ozone layer, and there have been holes in the ozone layer as long as there's been an Earth that was habitable with life, at least. And now you don't hear about the hole in the ozone layer because new science came in and made a discovery that lightning produces ozone, which repairs holes in the ozone layer. For Fauci and the Democrats to say science is settled on anything and it's never to be questioned again is insanity, and it is beyond arrogance. It's dangerous. In fact, I mean, that's like, you know, we're talking about Spanish Inquisition-like attitudes. When you've said, there's no other knowledge that can be learned, we have all knowledge, we're all knowing, nothing can counter that. Another thing I used to hear about forever when I was a kid was the rainforest. I remember in high school being shown films in high school that the depletion of the rainforest in South America was going to result between the destruction of the rainforest for development and the growth in population, that there was not going to be enough oxygen on the earth to support the population by the year 2000. They used to talk about the year, everything was in the year 2000. And I remember very specifically being shown a film that said an area of the rainforest is chopped down every day that's the size of Rhode Island, which is our smallest state. When's the last time you heard about that? Guess they were wrong. We didn't run out of oxygen. One last one. Computer scientists in 1998 and 1999 were obsessed with a computer scientist conclusion about Y2K. Now people laugh about Y2K, and for those snowflake millennials that weren't around then, there were computer scientists believe that Windows computers and other computers, but mostly Windows because everybody back then was using Windows operating systems, which was developed in the 70s and the 80s, did not properly take into effect the change of the century from the 20th to the 21st century. And that when the clock struck midnight, wherever that computer was, that the computer systems were going to collapse. And these were computer scientists because they were going to be confused by the changing of the year from 1999 to the year 2000. We used to say the year 2000. Now we just say 2000, right? And it didn't happen. And they told us crazy things. And these were leading computer scientists and computer programmers. 2 years of this. They said planes would fall out of the sky because their computers would go dead. Their computers would crash in flight. That airports wouldn't be able to communicate with aircraft. They said banks, since all the money was becoming digital at that time, that your bank accounts were going to be emptied. Remember all of that? And then 2000 happened and Y2K didn't happen. And then some said, well, no. It's when the calendar changes to 2001 that will happen. And then that didn't happen either. So, and you know, we could probably spend all day, and those were computer scientists. We could spend all day talking about all the things that scientists believed that other scientists came in and proved to be, no, that's not right. We got new information now. Right? So, you know, for Fauci to say science is settled, there is no new information that can be brought in, I have settled the science and I am all-knowing, is insanity. And I want to take a break. Fauci said something yesterday that is a very sad state of affairs for the United States of America. I'm going to take our break and get into that. All right? You're listening to The Steve Kane Show. My name is Brian Craig. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Back right after this.
Well, we're entering the third year of COVID. It hit the country hard. Hit the country hard for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons that we were hit the hardest is we weren't prepared when it came to PPE because everything was manufactured in China. On the line, we have former Congressman David Emery. He's now CEO of Strategic Manufacturers, a subsidiary of SBDG. He wants to bring PPE manufacturing back here to the United States. David Emery, what's the big deal about nitro gloves and PPE?
Well, you said it in the introduction. We weren't prepared. Well over 90% of the gloves that we use are manufactured overseas. We were gouged. So your average physician, nurse, emergency worker simply couldn't get the gloves to keep them and their patients safe. And that's intolerable.
A lot of people say you can't make anything in the United States anymore. It's too expensive. It costs too much. We don't have the materials here. How are you going to bring production of PPE to the United States?
Well, the reason we can't is because we haven't. We gave it up. It was a policy for 3 or 4 decades that we build all the fancy stuff here and all the average stuff we import. And now we're paying the price for it. We certainly can build things here. We have the skills, but we have to have the willpower to do so. And that is the central focus of SMI. Bring manufacturing back to the United States. Through our analysis and our due diligence, we believe this is not only...
Make sure you guys like the video. If you're new, please subscribe and click that notification bell.
Who want to participate, who want to help make us independent when it comes to PPE, how can they participate?
Well, go to our website, sbdgstock.com, and you'll find additional information. Investment opportunities are available for accredited
Good morning, Debbie.
investors. And if you're an accredited investor, you'll know what that means. But it's really critical for American citizens, government, policymakers, business and industry, labor, to get behind this effort to bring manufacturing.
He said terrorist, Tony, Ted Cruz.
Critical materials back to the United States, and that is what SMI is all about.
To learn more about strategic manufacturers or to get information on becoming an investor, call 919-654-6870. 919-654-6870. Online, strategicmanufacturers.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WW.
You know, a while back, Tom Laporta from Laporta Contracting put a brand new roof on Steve Kane's house. It's a beautiful roof. I mean, it's a roof like I've never seen before. And Steve went for a different style and color than he had before. And his home has become a showpiece on his street, no doubt about it. And, you know, Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting works on every type of roof there is. Not just every style, with like shingle, tile, asphalt, and all that, asphalt. He also works on every type of structure. Single-family homes, condos, apartment buildings, office buildings, churches, whatever type of structure you have, he can do the roof for. And he also, Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting, covers the entire state of Florida. No matter where you are in Florida, from the Panhandle to Key West and everywhere in between, give Tom Laporta at Laporta Contracting a call. He's a good MAGA guy, and the number we give you rings directly to his cell phone. Here it is, 954-604-4602. 954-604-4602, and online, laportacontracting.com. All right, so this exchange with Fauci yesterday, there was a second exchange with a Senator, a Republican, Roger Marshall, about his finances, which I'm going to play for you. And at the end of it, Fauci thought that his microphone was off and it was on, and at the end he said something. And what he said I find very troubling for this country, which we'll get to at the end. But this is, after Rand Paul, this is Senator Roger Marshall trying to get to the bottom of where Fauci makes all of his money.
Dr. Fauci, according to Forbes, you have an annual salary in 2020 was $434,000. You oversee over $5 billion in federal research grants. As the highest paid employee in the entire federal government, yes or no, would you be willing to submit to Congress and the public a financial disclosure that includes your past and current investments? After all, your colleague, Dr. Walensky, and every member of Congress submits a financial disclosure that includes their investments.
Okay, now this part is what I find very interesting, okay? This is not dead air. He was asked these questions by this Republican Senator Marshall. Fauci is answering. He forgot to turn his microphone on, and he's talking into a mic that is turned off. This guy is supposed to be the most brilliant scientist on the planet. He gets up every day and makes decisions that affect every human being on the planet Earth because other countries, all the other countries, follow our lead. This guy is supposed to be not only the best scientist, most informed scientist, the most brilliant person on Earth that we're not to question, yet he's talking into a microphone that is turned off. What does that say about him? But anyway, that's not the biggest problem.
Congress and the public a financial disclosure that includes your past and current investments. After all, your colleague, Dr. Walensky, and every member of Congress submits a financial disclosure that includes their investments.
Wow, this is frightening. In charge of the entire planet, this guy.
I don't understand why you're asking me that question. My financial disclosure is public knowledge and has been so for the last 37 years or so, 35 years.
The big tech giants are doing an incredible job of keeping it from being public. We'll continue to look for it. Where would we find it?
All you have to do is ask for it. You're so misinformed. It's extraordinary.
Why am I misinformed? This is a huge issue. Wouldn't you agree with me that you see things before members of Congress would see them, so that there's an air of appearance that maybe some shenanigans are going on? You know, I don't think I assume that's not the case.
What are you talking about?
The case.
My financial disclosures are public knowledge and have been so. You are getting amazingly wrong information.
So I cannot find them. Our office cannot find them. Where would they be if they're public knowledge? Where?
It is totally accessible to you if you want it.
For the public. Is it accessible to the public?
Okay. To the public.
Great. We look forward to reviewing it.
You are totally incorrect.
Well, we look forward to reviewing it.
Okay. Now this comes. We don't need to hit just his financial disclosures. Everyone in his family, including extended family. Let's find out what they're doing for money. Wouldn't that be interesting? Maybe there's nothing. Maybe they're all hardworking people, but maybe not. Now, the most brilliant scientist on the planet Earth, who for going on the third year has been the most powerful person on the planet. He really has. He's affected more individual lives maybe than any other human other than Jesus himself. He began, this brilliant man who's so smart, so brilliant, he's not to be questioned, talking into a mic that he did not turn on. Here we are at the end, and he says some things when he thinks his mic is off, but the man who's so brilliant he should never be questioned left his mic on. And let me play the end of it. Here it is. And this is the troubling part.
To the public. Okay. To the public.
Great. We look forward to reviewing it.
You are totally incorrect.
Well, we look forward to reviewing it.
Senator Marshall, Dr. Fauci has answered you. It is public information, and he's happy to give it to you if you would ask. Senator Moran.
Okay. Now, the hot mic moment, I edited that out. I took that end out, the hot mic moment. He called the United States Senator a name, and then he took the Lord's name in vain. And I potted it up as loud as I can without there being distortion. Listen. Okay. He called him a moron and took the Lord's name in vain. And this is where this country is in trouble, okay, on this particular moment, beyond just typical Fauci. Where are our Christian leaders calling him out for taking the Lord's name in vain? And I'll tell you another thing, calling a senator a moron in a session on national television live, as that happened yesterday, I remember there was a hot mic moment when Obama gave a State of the Union and everyone was cheering, and there was one Republican congressman who said liar, and he said it at the same time that the applause stopped and it was really loud, and he was censured. They punished that congressman. I can't remember who it was or if he's even still in Congress, because he called Obama a liar. This guy called a sitting United States senator a moron. Where's the condemning of Fauci for disrespecting a member of the United States Senate by calling him a name like that on television? And this business about taking the Lord's name in vain, I don't do that, and I know a lot of you don't. That's a very offensive thing to Christians. Where are the Christian conservatives out there that we used to hear from that would be calling him out on that in the past? If someone did that in government years ago, they would be called out. And that's not even, I haven't heard anyone other than me talk about that at all. And if we don't have Christian leaders anymore that are vocal and out there speaking, we're in trouble, because we need that. We need Christian leaders. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm going to take our break for the bottom of the hour. My name is Brian Craig. You are listening to The Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. Back right after this.
Brian Craig here. I've been telling you for years how great MyPillow products are, but don't just take my
Steve
word
Kane
for
Show.
it. This is one of our listeners, Todd. He bought the MyPillow mattress topper, and he called us live on the radio to tell us about his experience with the MyPillow mattress topper.
Yeah, I'm calling you testimonial about my pillow topper.
You ordered the MyPillow, the mattress topper?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Well, I was thinking about buying a new mattress because my old mattress was getting old. So my wife's like, why don't you try that pillow, that mattress top? So I went on, I used your promo code Kane. I got a great price. Got it home, and I've been using it for the last 3 nights. It's fantastic.
Oh, that's awesome.
It feels like a whole new mattress.
I've talked to other listeners with the MyPillow mattress topper, and they come in all sizes. The mattress companies have turned into con artists. When I was a kid, mattresses were two-sided. You'd have the mattress, then after a while you'd flip it over. Now you can't flip mattresses anymore. They don't make them that way anymore because people weren't buying mattresses enough. So the mattress company stopped making two-sided mattresses, and mattresses are expensive. I've had to buy a new mattress, and mattresses can cost well over, just for a regular normal mattress, over $1,000. So that MyPillow mattress topper is a big savings. It saved you from buying a new mattress and turned your whole bed into a MyPillow.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I really love it. I sleep really good.
Well, that's great. Well, I appreciate that. And you guys out there, remember, promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. Now, when you use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com, save 30% off your MyPillow mattress topper. And receive 2 free MyPillows. But you've got to use the promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. 30% off the MyPillow mattress topper. Turn
Steve
your
Kane
old
Show.
mattress into a big MyPillow mattress. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E, at MyPillow.com.
If you suffer with diabetes, did you know there's a 25% chance that you will develop a foot ulcer at some point in your life? And foot ulcers, when you have diabetes, can lead to severe health consequences up to and including amputation. Now, Medicare recognizes the importance of preventative foot care and has provided coverage for those of you who are at-risk patients. I want to introduce you to my good friends at the Soul Authority. The Soul Authority, at little or no cost, you can receive your very own pair of therapeutic shoes made specially for diabetics. You're probably not aware, but as a diabetic Medicare recipient, you are entitled to 1 pair of high-quality diabetic shoes with 3 custom inserts per year. These are not the ugly Frankenstein shoes. These are name brand shoes. They're stylish. They'll provide you with the extra width and extra depth to stop diabetic foot problems before they begin. Oftentimes, amputation due to diabetes is preventable.
Sorry, guys. Sometimes, during the break, I got to rest my mouth and, and stuff. I do so much talking.
At 954-597-7060
Your mouth can get tired.
Or online at thesouleauthority.com. That's TheSole authority.com. Tell them Steve Kane sent you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll-free 1-855-FLA-3782.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on Automotive Radio. Just search for...
All right, welcome back. 34 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1, 888-465-2631. Wisconsin Gary, you're on the radio. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian, from Phillipsburg, Ohio. You know that clip that you just played, I mean, the senator just literally asked Fauci if he would submit those records to the Senate, and it's like Fauci's response was, it's like it went in one ear, he didn't have his oil filter on tight enough, and it just went completely through the gaps of the filter and right out the other ear, because he basically said that, all you have to do is ask for it. The senator just asked for it, but Fauci just decided to go off and thinking he doesn't know.
Well, I'm sure his financial disclosure is fine, but I want to know about his children, his son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws, cousins, brothers, brother-in-laws, sister-in-laws. You know what I mean? The extended family are where these bureaucrats do all their corruption. Like Hunter Biden.
Right, but hence the thing that like Biden said, we won't tax you for anything under $400,000. Well, I think Fauci's making more money elsewhere that he's not claiming, and that's why.
Well, it's like the Attorney General. We found out that his son-in-law founded one of those companies that makes all the critical race theory stuff. So that may not be him directly, but it is him. It's his family. Look at all the deals Look at all the deals that Biden's brother has. He's had real estate deals all over the earth.
Right. And then the other thing with you talked about Cruz. Cruz has his ups and downs, I guess. But regardless, how you mentioned before, if you would have known how Bush would have been later on down the road, and if a lot of us knew ahead of time, could see into that future, I think a lot of us would say, no, we're not going to vote for him because this is what's going to happen down the road. Now, Cruz does do some great things, and there are some things, like he just said, like all terrorists, just because of January 6th, I really can't say whether if I would absolutely vote for him. If he was the only choice we had for a president, I guess I have to really go for that, but needless to say, what Cruz...
If we had no other choice, but I don't trust him. I do not trust Ted Cruz, and last week was a big tell.
Yes, and it was very much that I wouldn't trust him for a president because we know Trump is going to run in 24, and then hopefully DeSantis will take over after that. So
yep.
Cruz, basically, in my opinion, is out of the question.
Yeah. Now, like I said, he'll do good things to help us like he did yesterday, but that doesn't mean we trust him. I believe he's fake MAGA. I think he's establishment. I think he's with the Bush-Cheney wing of things. And, it's okay to know this about him. I don't want to be in denial about it because he had a good moment yesterday. He can still help us.
The only thing is, regardless if you push him out of if he screws up bad enough that he elects
Wesley,
himself
$5
out
super
of
chat.
government,
Thank you.
one way or another, he's still kind of an establishment.
Should have fired the great doctor. Very
that's
corrupt
the only
criminal
other
and
thing
should be in jail.
that's the
No doubt.
worrisome part on mine.
No doubt.
Because
Everyone,
some
please,
way or somehow
please thank
he's
Wesley
gonna
for that
be
super chat.
in government.
Yeah.
If he gets selected to the Supreme Court, he's still in that system.
And it's an interesting thing that Fauci has stayed in this job because he could make tens of millions of dollars if he retired on TV deals and book deals and movie deals and documentary deals and, working at, getting on the board of pharmaceuticals, and he's not done that. It's almost like he doesn't need the money. Right.
Especially being the highest paid in Washington alone. So
yeah.
He makes Biden look bad.
That's right. Hey, Gary, thanks for the call, Wisconsin Gary. Take care, truck driver on the roads of America. Good morning, you're on the radio. What's your name?
Hey, Brian, it's Frankie Frankie from Florida here.
Hey, Frankie in Florida. What's up?
People forgot all about St. Fauci during the AIDS crisis and how he dropped the ball. This is proof the American public has a very short attention span. Just watch Dallas Buyers Club, and I believe his name is mentioned repeatedly.
Really? In Dallas Buyers Club?
Yep, he was during the AIDS crisis, because I remember when he started, I've heard that name.
I'm going to go back and, I remember when this first happened, I remember Dr. Birx from the AIDS era, because I saw her on TV and things back then. I remembered her vaguely. I didn't know who she was, but she was familiar. Fauci I'd never heard of before and wasn't familiar to me.
Research and, and whatever happened to, with your doctor, get a second opinion. It's just, the common sense factor is just...
who makes a major medical decision without that? If your doctor says you need surgery, don't you at least think about getting a second opinion if you don't get one?
At a Holiday Inn Express.
What does that mean?
You see the commercial, hey, I'm a doctor. No, but I stay at a Holiday Inn, yeah.
I have not seen that. I don't get the joke. I'm sorry. I'm sure it's a funny joke. I just don't get it. All right, hey, take care, man. That's okay. I don't get everything. All right, take care. Richie, I'm sure it was a good joke. Good morning, Richie the bus driver.
Yeah, good morning, Brian. Good morning, everyone. Listen, Fauci, okay? Fauci, first of all, his financial deal, I believe that he invested heavily in Pfizer and Moderna. I can't prove it, but it ain't.
There's no way that he's directly invested. It would have to be, if he is, it would have to be through other people. But you never know. These people get pretty arrogant up there.
Yeah, here's a guy that basically has shut a lot of cities and destroyed businesses and lives for the last 2.5 years.
And he's not done.
While the border's been open on the other side. It's like there's no consistency whatsoever. This is so phony. You never hear him mention about the people coming over with all these variants. What are we going to do with these people? No, close the city up here, close the city up there, close your business down. Don't even open up a gym. Somebody can get the virus. This is so outrageous. It's so stupid. And as for the biggest scam of all, and I know you're not going to talk about it, is the
oh yeah.
But they're all. This is all science is proven. No, because I listen to your show. You're the first one that said that these people are getting grants from the government. They're getting handouts.
On the climate change, yeah.
Yeah. So this is all one scam against the world here.
Mm-hmm.
Some are invested in all these other items. We are in major trouble. As for putting the Lord's name in vain, listen, that's not going to bother me. It's offensive, but
well, no. It's not where people use that. They don't even know what they're saying. But there was a time when we had like the Christian Coalition. We had Christian leaders who would come out and take issue, and when something like that happened, and they're being silenced when that happened yesterday. To me, tells us we don't have Christian leaders around right now.
Well, what we have around now is we have the FBI forming task force to go against the greatest threat to the United States, the white man. So the bottom line is this is crazy stuff. We are witnessing. I don't even know what to say. You know what's going on here. And
well, what we're witnessing is an attempt to change American culture, and they're being successful. All right, Rich, appreciate the call. Now, here we are just over a month away from Valentine's Day. There is no greater gift for your Valentine, whoever they are, male, female, young, old, middle-aged, whatever age they are, there's nothing better than something from MyPillow.com. And when you use the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E, you will find incredible deals. Okay? Whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of with the promo code KANE at checkout, K-A-N-E. You can, no matter what the special says, you can take advantage of it with our promo code. And, of course, you can save up to 66% off when you use our promo code KANE at checkout. They got a brand new item that I want to tell you about at MyPillow.com. The MyPillow quilt. It comes in 6 different colors, and it's 30% off with the promo code KANE, K-A-N-E, at checkout. but I have my unofficial Brian MyPillow Valentine's Day bundle, and this is a great bundled gift for your Valentine that they will cherish for years and years to come. I mean, think about it. What did you get last year, the year before? Flowers, candy, whatever you got, a set of pots and pans. Do you even remember what you got for Valentine's Day last year? I know exactly what my wife and I got. We got the MyPillow bathrobes, his and hers. The MyPillow bathrobes, they have a bunch of new colors in. They even have a new style robe. They have the heavy robe, which my wife and I have. They have a new lighter robe. They have many different colors, a whole bunch of new colors in as well. They are all in stock. I checked last night. They are all in stock. No supply chain issues with Mike Lindell at MyPillow.com. Get his and hers bathrobes for Valentine's Day. And that's just a spectacular gift. With the promo code Kane, 30% off. And with your bathrobe, of course, you want to get your MyPillow My Slippers. I have the MyPillow My Slippers. Steve Kane does. They're spectacular. They're comfortable. They come in styles for both men and women, many different colors as well. The MyPillow My Slippers to go with your MyPillow bathrobe, 40% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. And the brand new item they have there, the MyPillow sleepwear. They have sleepwear you can wear under that bathrobe for both men and women. Very stylish. Comes in many different styles as well. The sleepwear for both men and women and many different colors, 50% off with the promo code Kane at checkout, K-A-N-E. That's my unofficial Brian bundle for Valentine's Day. Take advantage of that. You'll be very glad you did. Be a great Valentine's Day. And, of course, whatever special you see at MyPillow.com, you can take advantage of it with our promo code Kane, K-A-N-E. You can also order by phone, 1-800-716-4879, 1-800-716-4879. Promo code Kane, K-A-N-E.
Do you want immune advice from
Steve
a
Kane Show.
licensed professional with 30-plus years experience?
Hey, Dee, hold on.
Someone who's counseled thousands of clients.
Dee is on hold. I'll take her call first.
And is available at no charge. That's me, Janet Cimarelli, licensed nutrition counselor. Call me at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop at Festival Marketplace for your free counseling appointment. 954-317-1851. 954-317-1851.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price over the phone on new and used tires. Again, my number is 954-977-9445. Thank you.
Hi folks, Dr. Matez here, now with the BioStation West Delray. At BioStation West Delray, we continue to offer the highest level of experience and care you can find in the realm of hormone pellet and hormone replacement therapies. But that's just the start. We offer a full array of age management modalities, including state-of-the-art treatments for erectile dysfunction, sexual dysfunction in women, physical and sexual rejuvenation, and quite frankly, any sign or symptom of aging that you may have. And don't forget, we offer the complete array of all cosmetic modalities, including Botox, fillers, lasers, etc. Better energy, better sleep, better performance, and looks to die for. If this all sounds good to you, call us at 561-320-8893. That's 561-320-8893.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just
All right, 48 minutes after the hour, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Dee in Florida. Hey, Dee.
Hey, Brian, how you doing today?
All right, what's on your mind?
Yeah, I wanted to say that I was listening to Maria Bartiromo talking with Dagan McDowell today, and they were discussing senators questioning of Anthony Fauci's investments in his financial statement. Now, what Dagan had reported is that the financial statement that he refers to as being public information is actually 2 years old, and all of the investments were redacted out.
Wow.
So I find that quite interesting. If anything needs to be redacted, you know what that means.
Yeah.
He's hiding. He doesn't want the public to know.
Wow.
If he doesn't want the public to know what his investments are, then his investments must be under his name, not necessarily his family, but must be under his name. And I think we've got a big problem.
That's interesting. I'm glad you shared that with us. I did not know that. And that senator yesterday should get it and go through it on television and go through the redactions and show how much of it is redacted. That's insane. And when you're in government, as long as he is, I mean, he's been in government longer than almost anyone other than Biden, and that's not an exaggeration. You don't stay in a position at that level unless you're very well connected and got a lot of and people owe you a lot of favors. He's like J. Edgar Hoover. He's been in office maybe even longer than Hoover was. And Fauci's very arrogant, so his arrogance may keep him from covering things up, And he's obsessed with having power. So to have his kids and family members getting all the money, that would take away his power over them, the money. So that's interesting.
Well, another thing too is he is so arrogant that he never turns down an opportunity to be heard or seen. So he accepts almost every podcast, engagement and television appearances.
Yeah.
Do I think he needs the money? No. Do I think he wants everyone to see and hear him? Yes, I do.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. Well, I'm glad you brought that up, Maria Bartiromo. I'll go and look that up today and watch it for myself. Not that I don't believe. I believe you, but I want to see it. Maybe I'll pick up something. All right, Dee. Appreciate the call. All right, thanks so much. Wow, that's interesting. Wow, his financial disclosure form has all those redactions on it. Woo. Okay, now, Biden yesterday, listen.
Last week, President Harris and I...
Okay, now, how many times has he now called the vice president the president? How many times? I mean, that alone shows his mental state is so poor that this guy cannot have his finger on the button, cannot be in charge of the nuclear football. I mean, that's insane. He's called her president. I don't know how many. I have never heard a president refer to the vice president as president ever. And you're beyond the time of you could slip with that once or twice, but this is several times now. I mean, this is what's running our country. Fauci and this. Now, I know it's frightening, isn't it? Listen to this one, though. This one I find very, very interesting.
How do you want to be remembered? At consequential moments in history, they present a choice. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace? Do you want to be on the side of John Lewis or Bull Connor? Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis? This is the moment to decide, to defend our elections, to defend our democracy.
Wow. So he named the big villains, Bull Connor, Jeff Davis. He named the big villains. The biggest villains that no one wants to be like in American history that he could cite all have one thing in common. Democrats all. The most terrible people in American history that he said yesterday that no one wants to be are all Democrats. Listen.
Last week, President Harris and I...
Oh, no, that was that one. Hold on. This is the next one. We'll play this one.
How do you want to be remembered? At consequential moments in history, they present a choice. Do you want to be on the side of Dr. King or George Wallace?
George Wallace, Democrat.
Side of John Lewis or Bull Connor?
Bull Connor, Democrat.
Do you want to be on the side of Abraham Lincoln or Jefferson Davis?
Jefferson Davis, Democrat. Wow. He couldn't think of any evil Republicans. Now, that doesn't mean that there are not Republicans that they don't like or disagree with. But they're putting together a speech to speak to African Americans, black people. They're trying to think, they want people on their side. They're trying to think of the people in American history that have done the worst things people could do to African Americans, every single one of them is a Democrat. They could not even think of a Republican that did terrible things to black people to put in that speech. Just to have one token Republican. They couldn't do it. Yes, I'm going to agree with Joe Biden. We don't want to be on the side of the Democrats. And thank you as the Democrats tear down these memorials so that your party's racist slave history is wiped out, for reminding the African American audience you were speaking to yesterday, Biden, that the worst people in American history for black people are Democrats. Oh my goodness. You know, this is scary to me. It's not, a lot of people play that, you'll hear that a lot today and they'll laugh. And it's funny, but it's also scary because look at who's running the country. One guy, the top guy doesn't know who the president is, calls the vice president the president all the time. And that speech that Biden gave, he didn't write that down on a piece of paper and go out there and say, hey, put this in the teleprompter for me. This went through a process of speechwriters, of proofreading, of rewrites, going through committee. He rehearsed it. And no one in his idiotic staff said to themselves, wait a minute, these terrible Hitler-like figures that are in the speech are all Democrats. It didn't even occur to any of them because they don't know. That's how we've got the top guy doesn't know who the president is, and the rest are so ignorant of American history, they don't even know that these Nazi-like figures that they put in the speech are all Democrats. That's who's running the country. Very scary. Very scary. Now, it's time to check in with AJ's Natural Wellness Shop with the Morning Health Report. Of course, AJ's Natural Wellness Shop is located in the Festival Marketplace in Pompano. Good morning. Hey, Janet Cimarelli, how you been? You've been off for a few days, and now you're back with us. It's good to hear your voice.
And here I am, yes, and I'm here to remind people, drop off at AJ's today because Elsa's going to be there. Come meet Elsa. She is lots of fun, and Elsa Gonzalez is going to be handing out free samples from a company called Full Life, and the samples have to do with keeping you mobile, keeping your joints very flexible, inflammation and pain-free, keeping your muscles, again, very, very flexible. And the product's called Rheuma Art. And if you don't know about Rheuma Art, you are missing out. The truth is, Rheuma Art looks like ingredients from a salad is what I tell people. When they come in and they say to me, well, this is going to fix my joint pain, and I say yes, and it works very quickly, and it's all natural. All natural, they say, and I say, yeah, look at the ingredients. It looks like ingredients from your salad. And so for all natural ingredients, and you can find out about how each of those ingredients is going to work to reduce inflammation, work to enhance flexibility in your joints and muscles. And you'll have a really fun conversation with Elsa. Lots of ideas for keeping you very, very mobile. So if you haven't been able to get out for a walk for a while, or you used to run and you can't do it anymore, any of those kinds of things, come on in and talk to Elsa, and she will set you on your way toward energy, flexibility, and getting back into that exercise routine.
Let me ask you, I'm going to put you on the spot with this, Janet, because I got a question, a personal question about that. Janet doesn't mind. She's got all the answers. Janet Cimarelli always has the answers. When you talk about joint health and trouble walking and getting up and moving and all, that's a problem that I have had in the past and currently have with my dog. Are any of these products good for pets?
Okay.
Yes, my dog.
Okay, Honey, my dog is 13 years old, and I walk with him, and I was noticing, and this is a few months back, okay, he's kind of favoring one hind leg over the other. I started to use, because he's only like 9 pounds, I started to use just a pinch of Ruma-Art. I put it on his food. I didn't do anything spectacular. I just a little pinch, opened the capsule, took a pinch of the powder out, sprinkled it on his food. In 2 days, I no longer noticed that favoring of one side or the other, hind legs. And it's, like I said, it's been a few months, and I probably did that on his food for about 2 weeks. And, pardon me. And so, after those 2 weeks, I haven't been adding any of that to his food.
Wow.
And he is working perfectly. How many pounds is your pet?
You know, I don't know. I have to weigh her. I don't know, but she's a mid-sized dog. She's not that heavy, but that's good. So you guys out there that are pet parents, Janet Cimarelli at AJ's Natural Wellness Shop can help out not just your joints, but the joints of your pet as well. Now, listen, AJ's Natural Wellness Shop is located in the Festival Marketplace in Pompano, which is immediately east of the Florida Turnpike on the south side of Sample Road. And finding AJ's inside is so easy to do. Head back towards the food court. Right before the food court, look west. You see the information booth, and that's where AJ's Natural Wellness Shop is. Now, you're going to have the representative from the nutraceutical company today.
Yeah, today from 12 to 3, meet Elsa, and go into AJ's and pick up the schedule for what's happening this entire month of January at AJ's. Lots of special events.
That's awesome.
January.
That's awesome.
One of the things we can do here is Stump the Nutritionist. I've been doing Stump the Nutritionist.
Yeah, like I just tried to do.
It's one of my favorite things to do. People used to call in our nutrition help show and ask a question out of the blue and get all kinds of good information. And then they'd call back and tell us how well they were doing. So we can play that game all the time here on.
That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. All right, Janet Cimarelli from AJ's Natural Wellness Shop in the Festival Marketplace. Have a good day. We'll talk tomorrow, Janet.
We will.
All right. All right, 2 hours down, 1 to go. Back for the third hour after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Steve Kane Show.
Attention seniors and those who care about
Hold
them.
on.
This is Brian Craig.
Be right back,
in
guys.
Studio with Debbie from I Will Advisors. She has an incredible new service to tell you about called I Will Advocates. Debbie, what is I Will Advocates and how are you helping seniors?
Well, Brian, over the past few years of owning a Medicare insurance agency, we've learned that there's a huge need for Medicare advocacy, that a lot of people don't have a child or a spouse that can assist them with their medical needs, and that's where we step in.
There's a lot of things that seniors need help with. Prescriptions, doctor's appointments, things like this. How do you help them with that?
If you're having a problem at the doctor's office, having problems scheduling an appointment in a timely manner, we can step in. If you're having issues at the pharmacy, having problems refilling a prescription, or feel that you're being mischarged for something, you can contact us and we will step in. Even if you're at the hospital and you feel like you're being neglected, we'll be there for you at a touch of a button, whether it's to call the nurse's station or assist in any other way.
So if someone's in the hospital, they feel they're not getting the care that they need, they haven't seen their doctor, they haven't seen their nurse, they can actually call you and you'll contact the hospital for them?
Absolutely. We act as your family. We'll step up, we'll call the nurse's station and ask for some assistance. If we can't get anything done there, we'll go to the higher levels.
Now, this is a service that you're offering. Now, they do not have to be an existing client of I Will Advisors to take advantage of this, right?
Oh, of course not. No, we're here for any Medicare client. We can assist in any way. We don't need to be your insurance agent. We're just here to help you with your medical needs.
This is an incredible opportunity for those of you who are Medicare recipients. Debbie at I Will Advocates will help you with your prescriptions. You'll set up doctor's appointments for them, including the primary care physician and specialist, right?
Of course. We'll assist in anything helping you find new doctors.
They'll help you with your medical billing. They'll help you with your insurance billing. If you feel you've been billed wrong by your doctor, they'll step in for that and even help you if you're in the hospital. Basically, what you're offering is a concierge service to senior citizens.
That's exactly it.
That's amazing. I've never heard of anything like this before. So how much does this cost?
Well, for just $20 a month, you will have the security of knowing that you have an experienced, compassionate advocate just a touch of a button away.
To learn more, call Debbie's office. The number, 954-345-1214. 954-345-1214. Or go online. You can sign up online at iwilladvocates.com. That's iwilladvocates.com.
Oops.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law Group. Are you concerned with the distribution of your assets at the time of your passing? Avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group.
Troll. I saw someone said troll. Is there a troll? You know, since I'm using I don't have my iPad today. I forgot it. I'm using my laptop. I usually have my iPad right here on the board, and I can't have my computer here, so I have not been able to see the chat as closely as I normally do.
His longest running radio show, The Steve Kane Show. To call the show toll free, dial 1-888-COCAINE-1. That's 1-888-COCAINE-1. And now, here's Steve Kane.
All right, third hour has begun. My name's Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest running radio show on the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-COCAINE-1. You're welcome to call in about anything I brought up so far on the program today. And I've got some other things I'm going to do this hour as well, but you're welcome as I bring up new topics to call in about anything I've discussed since 6. And Kevin McCarthy, I don't trust Kevin McCarthy at all. I don't trust this guy. I call him the Judas of Mar-a-Lago. I think he's fake MAGA, and he is obsessed with becoming Speaker of the House. We want the Republican majority, but I don't want this guy as Speaker. But Steve Scalise said he'll be the guy. And Kevin McCarthy is very well aware. And I'll tell you, the reason I don't trust Kevin McCarthy is he agreed with Nancy Pelosi to take Marjorie Taylor Greene off of committees. Remember that? Yeah, I have not forgotten that. And he didn't even think about it, he just did it on a dime. So, yeah. So Kevin McCarthy is out there trying to act all super uber conservative and telling us all the things we want to hear because we're in primary phase now, right? And I don't think he'll be any different than Paul Ryan, who was a snake. And Kevin McCarthy he gave an interview with Breitbart this week, and he's made all kinds of comments. None of them, I believe, will happen. One, he said he's going to remove Ilhan Omar, Adam Schiff, and I forgot who the third one was, off of their committees. And then he said that he's going to take on big tech. He's going to put together a task force to develop legislative solutions to ensure freedom of speech on the big tech platforms. Is there anyone in this listening audience who believes that Kevin McCarthy is going to remove Ilhan Omar from a single committee? She is a black woman and Muslim. Do you really think Kevin McCarthy, who took Marjorie Taylor Greene off of committees because Nancy Pelosi asked, is going to take the heat that would be involved by being called a sexist, racist, Islamophobe? There's no way in hell he's going to do that. He's a liar. Okay? And big tech, he's going to put together a task force. We don't need a task force. We know what's going on with tech. A task force? He's not going to do anything about that either. All right? I just don't believe the guy. Now, we may be stuck with him as Speaker of the House, and I'd certainly rather have Kevin McCarthy as Speaker of the House as opposed to Nancy. But what happens a lot of times, and these are the kinds of things you've got to look out for, people. When you're in a primary, I haven't heard anybody talk about this in many, many years. When you're in a primary, people that are running in primaries get very into what they consider to be extreme positions of their party because they're trying to reach out to the activist base. And then after they get through the primary process, and we're in general election time, they become more moderate. And a lot of Republicans will talk tough like this. They'll be, take on big tech. Ilhan Omar offer committees. No security committee for her. Adam Schiff, and who was the other one? Who was the guy? I forgot the name now. The Congress. Oh, the third one he was going to take off the committee was the guy that had the affair with the Chinese spy. He's not going to do any of that. There's just no way. But they'll talk tough. Oh, marriage. It's Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve, and no abortions. And then they get through the primary process, and then all of a sudden, they're moderate. Okay, that's what Kevin McCarthy's doing right now. Yeah, Eric Swalwell, thank you. This is what Kevin McCarthy is doing right now. Okay, he is telling the MAGA base just what Ted Cruz did yesterday with that exchange with the FBI assistant deputy director. He's telling the MAGA base what he knows we want to hear, right? Big tech, Ilhan Omar, Swalwell, Adam Schiff. Once he gets the gavel from Pelosi, none of that will happen. One of the things that separated Trump from all these other Republicans is that he accomplished what he said. He made so many promises that he kept them all, that he had to start making new promises. Promises made, promises kept, and he had to make new promises because he accomplished all of his first promises. And the reason that the wall is not done, could have been done, the reason the wall's not done is because of Paul Ryan and Mitch McConnell. We controlled both houses of Congress during Trump's first 2 years. And I see no evidence that Kevin McCarthy is going to be in any way, shape, or form different in any way from Paul Ryan. And you know what? I think most people, now that, like I say, we want him to be Speaker as opposed to a Democrat, but in the long run, we really don't want him as Speaker. Who? I don't know. I like Jim Jordan. Marjorie Taylor Greene has not been there long enough. They wouldn't give it to her, but Marjorie Taylor Greene would be amazing. Matt Gaetz would be amazing. We've got some great MAGA people there. We'll have some new ones. Madison Cawthorn, but these are all new people. They're not going to give them anything, and they're MAGA. So that's the way it is. All right, our number is toll-free from anywhere, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. It's a toll-free call, 1-888-GO-CANE-1. Story came out yesterday, and it fits into what had happened with Ted Cruz. And I am going to play the Ted Cruz clip again for people that did not hear it in the first hour of the show because I think it's very important. The Justice Department is forming a new special unit, a domestic terrorism unit, a new domestic terrorism unit. I thought they already had that after 9/11. And when we hear that the Justice Department is forming a new special domestic terrorist unit, we know what that means. They're going after MAGA. They're not forming a new domestic terror unit for Black Lives Matter or Antifa. Okay? And what Ted Cruz did yesterday was nothing short of spectacular. Even though he was trying to cover his butt because he screwed up last week by calling the Capitol breachers terrorists, he did something amazing yesterday. And this is very, very important. Now, I want to say going into it, you'll hear echo when I play this. That's because the FBI lady screwed up her microphone and computer, okay? And that's on her end. So we have to suffer through that to get through it. Last week, Ted Cruz called the Capitol breachers terrorist. Tucker Carlson called him out on it. If it wasn't for Tucker Carlson, that would have been a forgotten moment. And I don't think Ted Cruz was counting on Tucker Carlson leading his show that night on the highest rated show in the history of cable television, greater than even the ratings of Larry King, who had no competition. He didn't expect Tucker Carlson to lead with what he thought would be a minor moment that would disappear. And the next night, he went on Tucker Carlson begging for Tucker's forgiveness and MAGA forgiveness. And Tucker Carlson said, "I don't believe you," which was amazing. I got to give it to Tucker for calling him out on that. So Ted Cruz did a lot of damage to himself with that. So yesterday there was a Senate hearing. They had Assistant Deputy Director of the FBI on, and Ted Cruz asked her a whole bunch of questions involving the Capitol breach that are great questions. I still don't trust Ted Cruz, but through his questioning and her responses, it was a confirmation of everything Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, and others have said about the Capitol breach. Here it is.
How many FBI agents or confidential informants actively participated in the events of January 6th?
Sir, I'm sure you can appreciate that I can't go into the specifics of sources and methods.
Wow, she can't get in the sources and methods. If there were no feds there, she would just say, no, we had nothing to do with it. This is a wild conspiracy theory. But she didn't say no because she would be lying to Congress, and you can go to prison for that.
FBI agents or confidential informants actively participate in the events of January 6th, yes or no?
Yes or no? Sir, I can't answer that.
Did any FBI agents or confidential informants commit crimes of violence on January 6th?
I can't answer that, sir.
Did any FBI agents or FBI informants actively encourage and incite crimes of violence on January 6th?
Sir, I can't answer that.
Ms. Sadburn, who is Ray Epps?
I'm aware of the individual, sir. I don't have the specific background to him.
Well, there are a lot of people who are understandably very concerned about Mr. Epps. On the night of January 5th, 2021, Epps wandered around the crowd that had gathered, and there's video out there of him chanting, "Tomorrow, we need to get into the Capitol, into the Capitol." This was strange behavior, so strange that the crowd began chanting, "Fed, Fed, 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 Fed." Ms. Sandburn, was Ray Epps a Fed?
Sir, I cannot answer that question.
Wow. That is just, woof. Every answer she gave was a confirmation that every allegation, every conspiracy theory involving the Capitol breach is true. That was a great moment yesterday. Doesn't mean I trust Ted Cruz, I don't, but he did some good yesterday. And he deserves credit for that. And hopefully he'll continue on this. I had a caller called in the first hour of the show that said he'll start to trust Ted Cruz when he goes to the DC Gitmo and actively starts to get a process going that will get them their due process that they're entitled as anyone else who's accused of a crime in the United States. And, we've had some people go down there, Marjorie Taylor Greene and others, but to have Ted Cruz walk down there and ask to see the January 6 prisoners and be turned away by that very strange, arrogant deputy warden that confronted Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz, that would be a big moment. To turn away as far as I'm concerned, a United States Senator can go wherever the hell they want. Ted Cruz can go to Area 51 and demand to see everything as far as I'm concerned. He's a sitting United States Senator. And for him to go with the press to the DC Gitmo to check up on the prisoners there and be turned away, that would be a dramatic event, and that would give him some street cred with me, and I know a lot of you people out there. So let's see how far he takes this. Is this as far as he's going to take it? He obviously has gotten a lot of feedback that he did a lot of damage to himself last week with calling them terrorists. That would include Ashley Babbitt, by the way, who was denied a military funeral. How could they deny Ashley Babbitt a military funeral? Was she arrested or convicted of a crime? I'm not aware of it. And would that even stop you from getting a military funeral? Does a criminal conviction stop you from getting a military funeral? She didn't have a conviction. She was killed, but I'd like to see him speak out about Ashley Babbitt a little bit too, Ted Cruz. More than just a little bit. Let's take our break. It is coming up on 18 minutes after the hour. It's the Steve Kane Show. My name's Brian Craig. When we get back, I'm going to, I'll tell you what we're going to do when we get back, okay? Stand by. We'll be back right after this.
Well, we're entering the third year of COVID. It hit the country hard. Hit the country hard for a lot of reasons, but one of the reasons that we were hit the hardest is we weren't prepared when it came to PPE because everything was manufactured in China. On the line, we have former Congressman David Emery. He's now CEO of Strategic Manufacturers, a subsidiary of SBDG. He wants to bring PPE manufacturing back here to the United States. David Emery, what's the big deal about nitro gloves and PPE?
Well, you said it in the introduction. We weren't prepared. Well over 90% of the gloves that we use are manufactured overseas. We were gouged. So your average physician, nurse, emergency worker simply couldn't get the gloves to keep them and their patients safe. And that's intolerable.
A lot of people say you can't make anything in the United States anymore. It's too expensive. It costs too much. We don't have the materials here. How are you going to bring production of PPE to the United States?
Well, the reason we can't is because we haven't. We gave it up. It was a policy for 3 or 4 decades that we build all the fancy stuff here and all the average stuff we import. And now we're paying the price for it. We certainly can build things here. We have the skills, but we have to have the willpower to do so. And that is the central focus of SMI. Bring manufacturing back to the United States. Through our analysis and our due diligence, we believe this is not only profitable, but will lead the way for other companies in the future to continue the trend to remove dependence on foreign resources for critical materials.
Now, people who are in the listening audience who want to participate, who want to help make us independent when it comes to PPE, how can they participate?
Well, go to our website, sbdgstock.com, and you'll find additional information. Investment opportunities are available for accredited investors, and if you're an accredited investor, you'll know what that means. But it's really critical for American citizens, government, policymakers, business and industry, labor, to get behind this effort to bring manufacturing of strategic materials, critical materials, back to the United States. And that is what SMI is all about.
To learn more about strategic manufacturers or to get information on becoming an investor, call 919-654-6870. 919-654-6870. Online, strategicmanufacturers.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers. Whatever car or truck you have, I can get you incredible deals on any tire. I also do tire repairs.
Yeah, grits and gravy.
Give me a call. My number is 954-977.
You can pick up the phone and call. You have a telephone.
Give you a price over the phone.
Don't call me out for being anything if you don't have the balls to pick up your phone and call me out.
977-9445. Thank you.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio.
Coward.
Just search for WWNN.
Fake name, Coward. Welcome back, everyone. 21 minutes after the hour. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. On the radio since 1977. Our number toll-free, 1-888-GO-KANE-1. I was going through my voicemail and Steve's voicemail yesterday, and I was at home, and my wife said, you should play, some of these on the air like you used to do, and I'm going to do that today. And, whenever we're not on the air live, unless I forget, whenever we're on the air live, after the show, I turn our voicemail on, and our call-in number goes directly to our voicemail. And people leave us messages all the time, day and night, and I do go through as many as I can. And we used to do a segment years ago where once a week we would play our voicemail messages that people left. Sometimes it's people that are listening overnight because we're on 7 nights a week, midnight till 6 a.m. And a lot of times people are listening at night, early in the morning, overnights, and they'll call because they can't call the live show and leave messages. And it was a segment, we did this segment for quite some time, and it was so popular, it became a weekly event. And then sometimes when Steve and I would take off, like Christmas or 4th of July, if we were not here live, sometimes we would play on Christmas 1 or 2 hours of nothing but our voicemail messages that I would keep. And it was a very popular segment. So if you're an overnight listener or you're not able to listen to the live show and are listening later, call, you leave a message on our voicemail, and we may play it on the radio if it's good, if it's interesting, if it adds to the discussion. And it also gives away, a lot of times people are too cowardly to call and face us like men, and so they'll take the coward's way out and leave a voicemail. Sometimes we'll play those. And I was going to play some today because I've wanted to bring this segment back for a long time. We've never really done it. So I pulled up some of them this morning. And sometimes people are talking normal about issues they want us to talk about. And sometimes people are rude, you know. So there's a mix of those in this. So I'll just play some of them, and then we'll talk about them. Here's a caller left a voicemail, and they're talking about Al from Coral Springs, not Al the John, liberal Al. And by the way, liberal Al the John. If you're out there, I'm getting very worried about liberal Al the John. We call him Al the John because he once told us in a call about having sex with a prostitute in Costa Rica. I've not heard from liberal Al the John in, it seems like, months, and that's not like him. And I'm just concerned of whether or not he's still with us or not. With all the COVID and everything, he's an older guy, he's obese, never look to be in the greatest of health. He's very high risk. If Al the John, if you could give us some proof of life, that'd be fine. But if there's someone out there that knows Al, liberal Al, get word to me somehow, because I've known him for 30 years, liberal Al. He's been calling the show for a long time, and I'm just getting a little concerned. But this is not the Al this guy's talking about. This is Al from Coral Springs. You know that guy, jerk, commenting on him. Listen.
I think you should start screening some of your calls. And it'd be kind of cool to have the screener live on the radio, screening them and asking them what they want to talk about. I mean, some people, when you have liberal Al call up, I just turn the radio off for 5 minutes. I mean, that early in the morning, I'm not interested in garbage. It's like opening up the toilet and looking at diarrhea. I mean, he pretty much has diarrhea in his mouth. It's not worth wasting 5 minutes with him.
Okay, there you go. So he doesn't like that. And that's Al from Coral Springs that he is talking about, not liberal Al the John, our other liberal Al. Okay, well, that's something. He turns the radio down when liberal Al from Coral Springs calls in? Oh, my goodness. Now, here's the dog walker. He called in and left some comments about conservative Doug.
Oh, dude, and as an afterthought, as far as that caller, conservative Doug, oh, man, you need to bring out an egg timer to limit his length of time on the air. I have never heard a grown man butcher the English language as badly as this guy. I mean, you actually have to search the records to find someone that speaks as unclear and who is unable to articulate their thoughts as bad as this guy. Let's see, the memory bank. Yeah, I think he'd almost have to go back to Boomhauer, who was a cartoon character on the animated series King of the Hill, to get an honest comparison. This guy is so difficult to listen to, and he is the one reason why, actually, I'm glad you overtalk a lot of your callers and step on their words. This guy should not be heard by other human ears. Okay, anyway, I hope you're feeling better with your blood pressure. The overnight caller is out.
Okay, that's the dog walker. And he said no one should have to listen to conservative... Oh, my goodness. That seems a little harsh. Maybe I shouldn't have played that one. I don't know. I didn't hear the whole call before I played it. That was a little harsh. I know that he did not like conservative Doug. I heard the beginning, but I didn't hear the whole thing. Oh, my goodness. What kind of voicemail messages do you guys get at work? Mine are, I don't know. Okay, here's another one. Here we go.
Yes, how you doing there, Greg? There's something wrong somewhere. You're such a cheap person, and you're buying all the stuff.
I think he's talking about all the MyPillow products I buy.
Yes, how you doing there, Greg? There's something wrong somewhere. You're such a cheap person, and you're buying all the stuff. You're like, I don't understand you. I think your life is almost over. I think you lost the will to live.
He thinks my life is almost over and I've lost the will to live. Oh my, that's a little harsh.
So how you doing?
Now he puts me on in the background. Let's see if he comes back.
Be required to wait a year before they can register and vote. They have to understand the policies of the state, what's going on, experience it. I think that's a very good idea.
Yeah, you think it's a good job. You're a moron. How does it feel to be a moron? You know you're a dumb guy. You know that. You were probably in a dumb class and you never played ball.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Yeah. That guy, he used to call back. He used to call a lot. And I'm glad he's checked in, unlike Liberal Al, so we know he's still around. Because some of these people, you don't hear from them. Now, not every call is a weirdo. Some people want to say, they have questions they want us to answer.
This is Brent, retired Army. I just have a question for you regarding what's going on in the news and the politics. If you could explain it to me a little better in your terms, I'd appreciate it. I trust you. One, why is it so slow to prosecute all these people that have done wrong things in our government, like Hillary Clinton, her husband, among others, just to name a few, Adam Schiff. It just seems like it's taking so long, and something should have been done. It seems like none of our politicians are really worth anything. They're elected to represent us. But in Illinois, again, Hillsborough, Illinois. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Okay, now he actually asked a question, which I'll answer. He said, why Adam Schiff and the Clintons, why is it taking so long to prosecute them and go to jail? Because they're Democrats. They'll never be prosecuted. They'll never go to jail. Democrats have complete freedom to do whatever the hell they want and get away with it. They're like James Bond. That's just the way it is. Now, the old-timer that thinks my days are numbered and I've lost the will to live, he called in about Steve, and he's talking about Steve's hair.
Listen, I'm a very good Trump supporter.
Oh, no, that's somebody different. Hold on. Where's the one where he's talking about Steve's hair? I've lost that one. Okay, it'll come up. Let's see what this one is.
Listen, I'm a very good Trump supporter. Right, I'm 100% disabled vet, and I come up with a lot of inventions. In fact, I solved a lot of problems for companies like IBM in the past. I have the new way of using the battery technology, which nobody's seeing. It's right in front of their faces. But the country benefit from it. But more than that, it's going to show that the Democratic Party has no idea. When they talk about electric vehicles, they don't even have an idea to implement it. I have a way of implementing it, using the fossil fuel industry and keeping the fossil fuel industry going, where they'll make $9 trillion over 5 years. I got this all costed out. What a battery costs, the best mileage out of a battery, the lifetime of a battery, what the best range is, what the best recharging is, and it's not...
Okay, now this guy, he says he's got a $1 trillion invention that nobody wants. Maybe I should call him back and get in on that so I can make some of that. Okay, here's the call. Okay, here's the old man calling in about Steve Kane's hair.
Yeah, how you doing, Brian? I didn't speak to you in a long time. Kane needs a haircut. When Kane came here, I remember he had plugs put in. He was going bald. He got plugs, so it's not even his hair.
Actually, no, Steve does not have hair plugs. Steve actually, years ago, had hair transplant surgery, and they were not plugs. In fact, it was micro mini grafts. I remember very well. Guys, remember Dr. Shapiro? And plugs are what Biden used to have. Where it looks like the doll hair, and he did these micro mini grafts, and it was Steve's hair because I remember Dr. Shapiro took the hair from the back of Steve's head and transplanted it to the top. So they weren't plugs, and it was his hair. But anyway, let's see what else he's got.
Yeah, how you doing, Brian? I didn't speak to you in a long time. Kane needs a haircut. When Kane came here, I remember he had plugs put in. He was going bald. He got plugs, so it's not even his hair. I'll go ask him that today. I'll bet you anything you want to bet that he had hair plugs put in. And then right after that, he had a facelift.
Now, that's true. He did have a facelift, but he actually had the facelift done before he had the hair transplants. So you got your timeline off. Let's see. Yeah, these are my voicemail messages. that I get here at the radio station. This one's very bizarre. Listen to this.
Hey man, it's Gary from Deerfield. I'm calling. I'm talking to two managers at the Walmart in Deerfield. I'm walking around, so.
Okay, so this guy has called in. He's at Walmart in Deerfield, and he's just walking around Walmart and decided to call us so we could listen in while he's shopping at Walmart. He's asking about soap.
Sorry about that, man.
Okay, all right. I don't know what that guy's trying to do. Let me see what else I got here. Hold on. Let me see here. Oh, here's the dog walker again. Now he is asking about a show that we replayed. Listen to this.
Dude, this is the overnight dog walker. I'm actually listening to your lame excuse why you repeated for the overnight audience Wednesday's show twice instead of playing Thursday's show. It's because I called on Thursday morning, made a criticism of you about how you always keep saying to your caller.
Oh, so this is interesting. Yeah, this is a while back. This was a couple weeks ago. I took my blood pressure medication during the show, and I was like totally wackadoodle. You know, now I take it when I go home. But I didn't play the show overnight because I didn't even remember the show when the show was over, quite frankly. And he thinks that we reran a different show because he called in on that show, and I didn't run the same show because he called in and made me look bad.
Because I called on Thursday morning, made a criticism of you about how you always keep saying to your callers, don't you agree with me? Don't you agree with me? And you didn't want your overnight audience to be reminded of what you did when you actually, on impulse, played that voicemail that I didn't expect that you would do. And so what you did was concoct an entire story for your overnight audience. Why you had to repeat Wednesday's show by saying it was a reaction to blood pressure medication. Not buying it, and neither is your overnight audience. Dude, why don't you just come clean and say, hey, here's the thing, I didn't want the overnight audience to hear my impulse playing of a criticism because I didn't want you all to kind of like get on board with that because you all know that's what I do. Just fess up, mea culpa it, and move on instead of being disingenuous. Jeez. Just when you thought you could trust the radio host.
Oh my goodness. Wow. So he's a little, I don't know. Thinks we ran a different show just because he was on it. It made us look so bad. If that is the case, I played 2 of his calls today. If that is the case, why did I play that one? And I did listen to that call in its entirety before I shared it with you. Oh my goodness. So anyway, I think it's a good idea. We called it our hate call segment. We've been wanting to bring back the hate call segment for a long time. We have not done it. You don't obviously have to hate us to call in. There's some people that like the show that have questions and comments. But if you want to call us and you're an overnight listener, you can't call us during the live show. If you're a coward and you're afraid to face us like men, you can call when we're not on the air after 9 o'clock until we're here in the morning at 6 a.m. and leave a voicemail message, and we may play it on the air. I'll just tell you a couple things. One, you only have about 60 seconds, okay? Because I don't need people leaving 3-hour messages. Only about 60 seconds. And no profanity. No profanity because I can't play it on the radio. If I hear profanity, I won't listen to the rest of the message, all right? Okay, listen, let's take our break 37 minutes after the hour. If you're on hold, stand by. I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show, Florida's longest-running radio show on the radio since 1977. Back right after this.
We've got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Brian Craig here. You've heard Steve Kane talk about the great job.
Steve Kane Show. Yeah. Russell, hold on, Russell. Steve Kane Show. Okay, hold on.
Thanks to the Steve Kane Show, my roof repairs were just completed by Laporta contractors. They were fast, professional, and the cost of the repairs was very reasonable. I had 4 sections of roof repaired, and upon initial inspection, they were honest and told me that my roof was good and I didn't need a new
Okay.
one. I called
I'm going to tell you guys this. Grits and Gravy I just blocked. They can get unblocked by calling me on the air and calling me out on the things that they're flooding the chat with about me. Calling me a liar and this and that. When they call me on the air, I will unblock Grits and Gravy. What do you guys think? Is that fair?
954-604-4602. That number rings directly to Tom Laporta's cell phone, 954-604-4602. And online, LaportaContracting.com.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire.
I'm not trying to be unfair, but I will unblock him when he calls in and doesn't say, it's Grits and Gravy. He's got to call me out on all the accusations he makes in the chat. I think that's fair.
Give me a call. My number is 954-977-9445. I will give you a price.
I don't mind criticism, but I don't want someone taking over the chat who doesn't have the guts to call.
Thank you.
The Steve Kane Show is brought to you by Attorney Barry Siegel at the Siegel Law.
Not going to make everybody happy with that, but I think that's fair.
At the time of your passing, avoid probate. Call the Siegel Law Group with 9 offices throughout South Florida, from Palm Beach Gardens to Coral Gables. Call toll free 1-855-FLA-3782. Listen to the Steve Kane.
I don't know who Precious from Periscope is. All right, welcome back, everyone. 20 minutes before 9 o'clock, I'm Brian Craig. It's the Steve Kane Show. I have a whole bunch of voicemails I did not play, but I wanted you guys to get an idea what it's all about. So I hope we bring that segment back. I really do. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, let's go back to our phones. 1-888-GO-KANE-1. You're on the radio. Good morning.
Hey, Brian, this is Russell from Hampton. How you doing?
Russell from Hampton. Where's Hampton?
Hampton, South Carolina.
Oh, South Carolina. All right. Russell in South Carolina. What's up?
Yeah, home of the Murdaugh murder saga.
Okay.
That congressman that you mentioned that said you lie, that's Joe Wilson. He was our congressman. They redistricted, but he's still a congressman, and his son is our state attorney general.
Well, you know, Joe Wilson. Yeah, it was Joe Wilson was his name? Okay, yeah, and okay, you know, and Joe Wilson, just to recap, we were talking about, you know, yesterday Fauci called he thought the mic was off, the smartest man in the world, the most brilliant scientist who shall never be questioned. He called a sitting United States senator a moron on live TV into a microphone at the Senate yesterday. Joe Wilson, during Obama's State of the Union, when Obama was talking, shouted out, "You lie," while everyone was clapping. And everyone stopped clapping just at the moment he said it. You know, like when the music stops at the party and it went out loud by accident and everybody heard "you lie." And Joe Wilson was censured by the Congress for calling Obama a name. Fauci, I didn't hear anybody call him out for calling a sitting United States senator. I wouldn't do that. You got to have respect. You know, you got to have respect. Yeah.
So I talked to him about it. I know him personally. He came out on a business here in Hampton, and there was some sort of a meeting here in Hampton, and he stopped by and talked to us, and he was embarrassed by it. And I said, "Don't be. The reason why you said he lied is because he was lying." And
well, I don't remember what the specific thing was at the time, but it was Obama, so I imagine there was some lying going on, no doubt about it.
Working on appropriations, and he knew the numbers. And I forget exactly what line he said, but he hollered out, "You lie."
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I apologize. I'm proud of you. You're my congressman.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I appreciate that. All right. Joe Wilson from South Carolina said it. Yeah, and he got a lot. You guys can look that up online. I'm sure the audio of the yelling out to Obama, "You lie," is on YouTube. But, you know, this is... listen. This era we're in... this is the worst we've ever been, okay? Because of the Democrats led a violent insurrection against the government of the United States, the Civil War. And the Democrat insurrection never ended. The Democrats have been, you know, they had a 100-year domestic terror reign with the Ku Klux Klan, the Democrats in this country, terrorizing. Do you know what was the primary? Do you know what the primary purpose? The Ku Klux Klan was the original Democrat community activist organization. Do you know what their primary purpose was? The Ku Klux Klan. And it was a Democrat organization. They were terrorizing African Americans. Do you know what? Okay, hold on. I got a text message here. Oh, it was a special session on Obamacare, not the State of the Union, when Joe Wilson called Obama a liar. Okay, so when you guys are looking it up, you can find it. The primary purpose of the Democrat Ku Klux Klan and their 100 years of terror against blacks was to stop them from voting because they were voting Republican. That was their primary purpose. But the Democrats are using the Capitol breach to stop everything, right? They're going to use, and this is not going to go away anytime soon. 20, 30 years from now, AOC, she'll be 50, 60 years old, and she'll be talking about that day where she wasn't even there during the Capitol breach. She was in a building down the street. But by that time, that'll be forgotten, and she'll act like she was in the chamber by then. But they're going to use this forever to try to silence the right. And you know, this is a reality. They're going to have some success with it. Okay? Because the Democrats write the history books and they control the media. So they're going to have success with it. It's something we are going to have to deal with, and it's not going to go away anytime soon. I'm going to take our last break of the day. When we get back, it'll be time for the Gold Report. I'm Brian Craig. This is the Steve Kane Radio Show, Florida's longest-running radio show. We'll be back right after this. Don't go anywhere.
Steve Kane radio listeners love Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca.
I went over to Champagne Automotive, and I got to say that this man is the most fair mechanic I have dealt with in my entire life. We took a car over there that was not being used yet. You know, it belonged to my 90-year-old dad. Everybody I had taken it to before was charging an astronomical amount of money. But when we took it over there, Eddie took a look at it, and I got to say that this man fixed the car. It's running like a charm. Anybody that needs a mechanic, I strongly recommend Eddie, and he is just the best thing that's happened to this family as far as car maintenance goes. It's fixed. Bottom line, it's fixed, and the price was right.
Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca will never do a repair on your car that your car doesn't need. And their prices are low. Champagne Automotive Repair in Boca. Give them a call. 561-245-8101. 561-245-8101.
When the pandemic hit America, our nation was caught off guard and unprepared. One of the biggest problems was we didn't have enough PPE because everything was made in China. There is a solution to this problem. Small Business Development Group has formed strategic manufacturers to produce medical exam gloves and associated raw materials right here in the USA. This way, supply chain issues will never be a problem again. This project is U.S. funded, owned, and managed. Best of all, it's without reliance on the foreign supply chain. Investing in this critical infrastructure is important to the safety and defense of America. Now, here's where you come in.
Hey there.
If you're an entrepreneur, venture.
No, I said I would unblock Grits and Gravy if they call in on the air and call me out for the things they're saying in the chat room on the air. I remember that name, Fireplace Precious, whatever, but I don't remember who it was.
654-6870. Learn more about this incredible opportunity. 919-654-6870.
Small Business Development Group is a publicly traded company. Stock symbol SBDG. Online at c2cpic.com. Find strategic manufacturers online at strategicmanufacturers.com.
Listen to the Steve Kane Show on iHeartRadio. Just search for WWN.
All right, and it's time to check in with William Youngerman from the offices of William Youngerman Incorporated in Boca with the Morning Gold and Precious Metals Report. William Youngerman, good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing?
Doing all right. How the metals looking?
Metal's looking very good. In light of CPI reports coming out today, inflation at 7%, the highest numbers we've seen since about 1982 for inflation. And gold is responding to those numbers. Yesterday we saw gold gain $20.10 the ounce, closing at $1,821.70 the ounce. Silver gained 32 cents at $22.77. while platinum was up $35 at $971, and palladium $15 at $1,867. Oil skyrocketing again today, up to $82 a barrel, actually over $82 a barrel. Overnight, we saw gold trading in a range of $1,814 to $1,826. Right now, up $1.30 at $1,823 the ounce. Silver up 18 cents to $22.95. Platinum up $9 at $980. And palladium right now is up $5 at $1,872 the ounce. So the markets are proving once again they are the place to be in light of inflationary economy. And certainly the commodity market is the most undervalued of all the financial markets right now. So take advantage of these prices even now, because I think we're going to see much higher prices.
Oh, yeah. And, gold is 1872 right now. And when William Youngerman first started the Gold and Precious Metals Report on the Steve Kane Show, I remember it clearly. Gold was $4.25. And I remember I talked to Steve that day. I said, Steve, I don't know, gold's been around for 5,000 years. It's $4.25. That's good. How much higher can it go? What a fool I was, right? But is this going to be a record high year, you think?
It certainly could be, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Good news. Yeah, $4.25. I remember Steve when he got that first ounce. That was amazing. All right, now you can call William Youngerman. They open weekdays at 10 a.m. The number, toll free, 1-800-327-5010. Remember, no matter where you are, if you're local, you can't make it in. If you're out of town, out of state, even in another country, they can help you. 1-800-327-5010. Online, WilliamYoungerman.com. And located right here in Boca, just east of US 1 Federal Highway, on the south side of Palmetto Park Road, on the first floor of the Bank of America building, and the address, 150 East Palmetto Park Road. All right, William Youngerman, have a great day. We'll check in tomorrow. All right, let's take a call or two before we end, because we're running up towards the end of the show. Our number, 1-888-GO-KANE, 1-888-465-2631. Good morning, you're on the radio.
Hey, good morning, Brian. It's Al from Cold Springs.
Oh, yeah, our one guy, he's turning down the radio right now. He said he turns down the radio when you call. He says having you on the air is like diarrhea.
Yeah. You know that old saying, the hit dogs holler?
No, I've never heard it before.
He can't handle the truth. But anyway, that's a great idea about playing these calls. Nothing against Steve, but he mostly gets on the radio with unprepared, and then you have to react.
Oh, really? How well do you perform with COVID? Yeah, the guy's got COVID. Lay off. Talk to him when he's back. Jerk.
I commend you on absolutely ignoring the biggest news story in Florida here. Dumb DeSantis gets 1 million COVID tests to expire in a warehouse to promote his Regeneron nonsense that doesn't work on.
Really? Wait, all right. I want to ask you two questions. First question is, what is Regeneron? No, DeSantis. You said it's nonsense. So you don't know what it is. I don't have to ask my second question. My second question was, tell us where you earned your medical degree. He says it's nonsense, but he doesn't know what it is. No, Regeneron is not DeSantis. DeSantis is the greatest governor ever in the history of governors. He's the governor of Florida. And he gave a State of the State message yesterday. They have State of the Unions. Governors do State of the State. And yesterday, Ron DeSantis' State of the State, the governor's equivalent of State of the Union, made national news. When have you ever seen a governor have their State of the State message shown as a national television story before Ron DeSantis' yesterday? And it wasn't just clips. They were playing huge sections of it when he was talking about how free Florida is and all this stuff. Oh, man. I've never seen that before. Have you? If it's happened before, it's been rare, and an exception to the rule probably because of some scandal the governor was involved in, like Cuomo's. That's never happened before. You know, and he's our governor because of Donald Trump. And Donald Trump and Ron DeSantis saved Florida. You know, the guy that was running against him, Andrew Gillum, was kind of like Florida's version of Obama. And he was winning. He was winning. And Ron DeSantis, I didn't know much about Ron DeSantis. I knew he was in the House of Representatives. I'd seen him in some committee hearings, and he did very well, but I didn't know much about him. And he was losing to Andrew Gillum until President Trump came here to Florida and endorsed him. And then boom, he won. And I think was that before the primary? And Donald Trump, who always hires the best, that's what the Apprentice was all about. Ron DeSantis is like the political apprentice, right, of President Trump. And President Trump and Ron DeSantis saved Florida because the man who was winning and who would have been governor if it were not for Ron DeSantis and President Trump's support of him, Andrew Gillum, after he lost the race, was found passed out naked on the floor of a South Beach motel room with a gay prostitute in the bed above him who was naked, ODing, surrounded by illegal drugs. That's what we would have had running Florida during the COVID pandemic instead of Ron DeSantis, who was perfect governor. If it wasn't for Ron DeSantis and his greatness and, of course, his competency and brilliance, and President Trump for backing him and endorsing him. So President Trump and Ron DeSantis saved Florida. And to say any different is insane. And you guys go look up Andrew Gillum online. That's who would have been running Florida if it wasn't for DeSantis and President Trump. We'd still be locked down. And this state would have been destroyed. Okay? All right, well, thanks everyone for tuning in and joining the program and supporting the program. It is much appreciated. I'm hoping Steve will be back. Steve's doing much, much better, by the way. But he's just resting. He is doing very well through this time. And I can't even tell when I talk to him that he's sick. But, he doesn't want to wear himself down until he's fully recovered. But I hope that he's back this week. All right, everyone. I'll be back with you tomorrow, as always, live at 6 a.m. Don't forget, check out my YouTube channel, Brian Craig on YouTube. Subscribe, follow. My podcast I upload there and many other things. Everyone, have a great day. Again, thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow, 6 a.m. Until then, take care. Have a great and wonderful day. Brian Craig here. I'm in studio with my wife, Kathy, and she's here to tell thanks everyone. Experience with the MyPillow mattress topper. Let me go through the chat just a little bit.
I was waking up in pain almost every morning for years.
I don't have a lot of time because I got a meeting I got to run to.
Long ago, but it still was not doing the trick. So I said to you, let's get.
Yes, Steve is vaccinated but did not have the booster. But his COVID is rather mild compared to a lot of people I've known with it. He did not go to the hospital or even the doctor. And he did not get the monoclonal.
And the pain has not returned. Wow, that's absolutely amazing. Now go to
Thank you, Wayne. Thank you. No, Grits and Gravy's welcome back. But Grits and Gravy was just getting a little excited there, and they won't call. If you're going to sit in the chat room and call me a liar and everything, that's fine, but have the guts to call and face me down. I'll unblock Grits and Gravy. Steve's feeling better. I was very surprised he wasn't here today, but Steve did not get the booster.
Hello, this is Mike at Friendly Tire. I've been in business 30 years at the same location and offering great deals on new and used tires. I have many suppliers, whatever car or truck you have.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Michelle Jensen.
On any tire. I also do tire repairs at very low prices. Give me a call. My number is 954.
Yeah, I have under this. I'm wearing I'm wearing my Trump for President 2016 shirt under this. Maybe I'll wear that tomorrow. My Trump 2016 shirt. I haven't worn it in a long time. I forgot I even had it.
If you suffer with diabetes, there's a 25% chance that you'll develop a foot ulcer that can lead to severe health consequences.
Yeah, whatever happened to Jamie the Prepper? Does anyone know?
The sole authority at little or no cost. You can receive your very own therapeutic shoes and custom inserts.
Thank you, Chaplain.
Recipients are entitled to 1 pair of quality diabetic shoes and 3 custom inserts. Call the sole authority.
Lily Trump Girl, you're not blocked. I'll take a look. If you were blocked, it was by accident. I'll take a look. Let me look right now. Just give me, because I have my computer. I can do it. I can't do it on the app. Hold on. Give me a minute. We're almost signed off, then I'll check. I've got Jamie the Prepper's number. I should text him. Just give me a minute and I'll check. What was it, Lily Trump Girl? If you're blocked, it's by accident. I'll look in just a minute. There are not many people that are blocked. Oh, Huddy is now, Grits and Gravy, when you call, you're welcome back.
Don't let social distancing stop you from taking care of your feet. Call the Soul Authority today.
We got you covered. AM 1470, FM 95.3, 96.9. South Florida's FM Money Talk Radio Network. WWNN, Pompano Beach.
Okay, let me look real quick. Lily Trump Girl, let me see if, because my block list is short. Let me see here if I can access it. I got to sign in to YouTube on this computer. I don't use this computer for YouTube. So let me see if I can access everything. All right, Lily Trump Girl, you were blocked. That was an accident. That was not meant to be. You were unblocked, Lily Trump Girl. All right, so you can check that. All right, guys, I got to take off. Thanks for watching. And Grits and Gravy is welcome back when Grits and Gravy calls in on the air and confronts me on the air. I think that is a very good compromise. What do you guys think? Give me a 1 if you think that's a good compromise, a 2, no. Not that it's going to influence my decision on that, because that's what I'm going to do, but I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know. 1, it's a good idea. 2, yeah, I think it's fair. Wheezy is not blocked. No. Wheezy did some things that she is over the line. I told her she wasn't welcome here anymore. I'm not going to say what she was doing, but some of you know. Okay, most people agree. That's cool. Most people agree. You don't have to comment, Carolyn. That's okay. You turn the show off when Andrea comes on. She acts like she runs the show. All right, guys, I got to take off. I'll see you soon. Make sure that you like the video before you go, all right? Take care.